Hi everyone, it's Janet here, and we're at the Valley Patriot Bash. We're at the Elks Hall in Lawrence on March 28th, and we're having the Valley Patriot Bash in memory of Tommy Duggan, 1943 to 1990, and Tom Duggan's dad, and so he does this every year, and this has grown. It was at the Fireman's Hall every year. This year's brand new, so it's quite a large hall. All the tables are all set up, the food is coming out. We're getting the raffle tickets ready over here. I don't know if anything's going to play on a screen, but they do have a screen available right there. It's going to start at 7 p.m. Here's the flyer. This is a fundraiser for the Lawrence and Haverhill schools in the area, surrounding area. Really excited. It's very, very nice tonight, so I'm looking forward to this. Food is so cool. Hi. This looks great. Delicious. Yep, look at that. Meatballs, cookies, and they'll keep bringing food out.
Hey, welcome to the Valley Patriots 21st Anniversary Bash. An amazing night tonight. We've broken every rule, and as of the moment that we're recording this, we've raised $65,000 for local kids to go to college. And as I'm sitting here, my phone is bouncing. People are donating more and more in Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Eventbrite, all those other. So we're going to be having an amazing night tonight. We've got awards for hero police officers, hero firefighters, a bunch of people who help the homeless, and we're going to walk out tonight. We're going to make everybody happy. Everyone's going to walk out tonight and they're going to be happy. They're going to have something nice.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks. Actually, wow, look at you. If you weren't married to a veteran, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Good evening. All right. Welcome to the Valley Patriots 21st Anniversary. Okay. Who's been here before? Your hands? Just to come back. Amazing. Who's first time tonight? You were in for a treat. All right. Okay. I'm getting instructions already. So, you don't know this, but behind the scenes every year, Tom has one rule for the MCs. I looked at the script before. So, listen. Alright, this out with rule number 2. In all times tonight, tell the audience how wonderful Tom is. You're wonderful. Isn't he? Okay. Rule number 2. Don't read what is in parentheses. These are actions. Don't be like Al Gabriel, who kept saying, point to the left and pause. Like do that. Rule number 4. It's a question for the audience. How do you know you are someone who makes an impact in your community? Because you're here. So take a moment to meet another person who has impacted the community that you do not know. Sometime tonight, somebody at the table you may not know, somebody at another table. Because you are all part of the Valley Patriot family. Okay, rule number 1. This is the one that all the MCs get. I am not allowed at any time tonight, because Tom keeps his script pretty locked up, so I don't know exactly what's in here. I am never allowed to say, when I hear a groan in the audience, I did not write that. So, if there's one of those awkward moments, and I feel like I need to be bailed out, I'm going to refer to rule number 1, just kind of a signal. Oh, all right, let's go. So as Tom lets you know in the Facebook post, announcing the MCs for this year's bash, it takes 2 men to do the work of 1 woman. So we have 2 MCs. Our second MC tonight is an attorney in North Reading, who's also a Valley Patriot advertiser and a podcast sponsor. And the real reason he's here, Tony is desperately trying to get him to renew his advertising for another year. So we thought making him the co-MC, if it's really not a prize, might get him to write another check. So we'll see. Doug Mercury. He also thinks he's a funny guy, so let's see. Okay, so during the night, we'll be talking about the raffles. There's also a 50-50. But we want to acknowledge some of the sponsors. So for those of you who have been here previously, we have not held the bash here. And here at the Elks, this is our first time at our new home. So we'd like to thank the Elks, Chairman of the Board, Ray McLean, I don't know if he's here, are you here, Ray? And Exalted Ruler, Stephanie DeSantis, are you here? Stand up. Stand up. There she is. All right. Thank you, we love our new home. DJ Rick, my voice is loud enough, but DJ Rick says the acoustics here are pretty good, so unlike past years, you should be able to hear us. Second, I'd like to mention Salvatore's Restaurant, right here in Lawrence, who for what, 5-7 years, Tom has been sponsoring meals? 11 years, every year. So that means they were sponsoring the bash during COVID, when there was no business for restaurants. And I'm told during that period, he paid all his employees and managed to stay open. And guess what? It still isn't great in the restaurant industry right now. So let's give it up for Mike Agricola and Philip Moore. And one more. Somebody who was here every single year, every single bash, on time and dependable. The one person that you never worry about. DJ Red. DJ Red is a preferred vendor at many wedding venues, does a great job. And I didn't know how good of a job until a year ago October, and my sister can vouch for this, went to a wedding with a disc jockey, was kind of the house disc jockey for that wedding place. And he was awful. Could not read the crowd. My nephew went up, requested a song, not too crazy. He's an Irish kid. Asked for Come On I Lean. Kind of saying, right? The disc jockey would not play it. For Irish. And he guarantee you, if you held an event, if you had Rick, he will take care of you, he will show up and do a great job and good. We Come On and Lean. Thank you, Rick. reused to a year ago in October. All right. All right. Wow. It's early, Tom. All right. Control the room. Put that in parentheses. I'm not allowed to say that. Oh, Tom, you're terrific. We love this. Okay, so we have a raffle over here. The tickets are what? 10 for $10, 25 for $20. There's also 50-50 with people in the room collecting for that. Are you out there, 50-50 people? You let us know who you are? And you're going to be going through? Hold up, I'm about to receive direction. So our scholarship total tonight, now last night we closed at about 60,000. So Tom said, since this morning, we are up to $66,361. Unbelievable. I was going to talk about this a little later in the night, but I'll do it now. So, how did we decide for the scholarship and bring everybody together, and we never thought we'd see numbers or generosity like this? So, myself and Eric Melanson, who was the person at the door, we're part of the Lawrence Alumni Association. We also give scholarships. But at the time, we wanted to promote what we were doing. So we asked, as Tom would say, the Alabama Eagle Tribune to come to our event. And they did not show. So out of sheer desperation, I called Tom, because he's such a good guy. And Tom said, I will cover your event, but you're giving scholarship? Well, I'm a Lawrence High grad. I'll give you $100. We thought we saved the world. It was great. We're all excited. Kid one was so happy that when he went to college, which I believe was University of Arizona, Tom? Yeah. Every semester, he would send Tom a note to tell him what he was doing in school, how he was doing, and how happy he was there, and how happy he got that $100 scholarship. So the next year, Tom was able to push it up to 200, 300, and at 500. Well, last year, the Lawrence High first were in about $10,150. $10,150. That's amazing. And now Tom is also giving out 4 other scholarships. 7 total. Unbelievable. So we never thought we'd hit. Hello, right side of the room. We never thought we'd hit $60,000. Now we're pushing 70, so thank you all. So a little bit about the Valley Patriot. Tonight is a celebration. Hello, right side of the room. Tonight is a celebration of the 21st anniversary of the Valley Patriot newspaper. The one thing was so good. For 21 years, the Valley Patriot has been publishing a hard copy newspaper in an industry that's clearly on life support. But while other newspapers are dying out, the Valley Patriot is still going strong. The Valley Patriot, through those 21 years, has survived, despite right side, I gotta stop there. The Valley Patriot has survived despite multi-million-dollar lawsuits, boycotts and political attacks. Not one, but 2 stalking orders. Okay. Willie Lantigua. A weekend in jail, we'll be talking about that later, in the infamous Methuen Cell Block 3. A successful criminal trial, 2 appeals court wins, 2 state Supreme Court wins. One in New Hampshire, that's the most recent, and previous one in Massachusetts. The collapse of the print newspaper industry. Tom also just survived the government lockdowns during COVID. Interesting thing, when they announced the 15 days to stop the spread, we're actually at a bash planning meeting at Salvatore's. When the government told us we could stop the spread of disease, this is hard to believe this actually happened, by having one-way aisles in the supermarket. You know, if you passed something, was it okay to go back? Because if you did, there was always someone there. Really, it's hard to believe that happened. Then, he survived the Columbia gas explosions, an auto pen running the government, an 11-day coma, and a 34-day hospital stay. Not to mention being shot at a few times while he was chasing police calls in Lawrence. That was before they encrypted them to keep you away, right? So when you think about it tonight, the bash almost didn't happen. Some of you have no idea how close we came and how many times we came so close. But Tom is still here. And because Tom is still here, the Valley Patriot is still here. And because the Valley Patriot is still here, you are still here. So against all the odds, let's start the festivities of the Valley Patriot 21st Anniversary Charity Bash.
Right, there we go. I'm pretty loud even without a microphone, but with a group this big, it helps to actually have one. So first of all, everybody, I just want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Duggan. Hold it up, can you hear me? Hey, can the people over there hear me? We can hear you. So, if we can have Randy Carter, Yanitza Mendez, Francisco Urena, as well as Dave LaCroix, come to the front, please. And here? Our first speaker tonight was the Veteran Service Officer in Lawrence. And we haven't had a good one since. I am not a snitch. Okay. Then Boston stole him to be their VSO. Then Charlie Baker stole him from Boston to make him the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Now he's back home running the Lawrence Airport. There's no one who does a better job for caring for and honoring our veterans than he does. Please welcome Hero Marine and Purple Heart recipient, Lawrence's own Francisco Urena.
Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you very much. Hey, so I want to say hello to first my friends and colleagues in government. I know we have some city councils here. I know we have folks from the mayor's, the Pena's office, fellow team members. I see folks here from the state delegation as well and the county. But before I get to their introduction, I'm sure Tommy has it somewhere in the script. I want to say hello to my fellow veterans, our military families, our active duty service members if they're here or wherever they may be. We want to say hello. So, show of hands, any military members in the audience here today or any military families in the audience here today? Yes. Wherever your loved ones are. Maybe I do. Wherever they are, we want to make sure we honor their service to our country, and we want to let them know we are thinking about them in very troubling times around the world. And so, my fellow veterans, where are fellow veterans? I know that they are here. Why don't you stand? Stand to be recognized. Yes, I see some rings in the audience. Thank you to our veterans and our veteran families. Thank you for your service. In specific, do we have any Korean War veterans here in the audience? Anybody who served in the 50s? Do we have any Vietnam veterans here in the audience? Vietnam vets, raise your hand. We want to recognize our Vietnam vets because when they came home, and I'm gonna have to speak over this right-hand side. Just give me a couple minutes, indulge me, because I want to recognize this population of veterans. When they came home, they did not receive the warmest welcome. And so to our Vietnam veterans here tonight, let me tell you, welcome home. And we can't say that enough because you did not hear that at all when you came home. So to our Vietnam veterans, thank you. And not to diminish the service of all of the generations of veterans, but to that specific generation, I think a lot of hurt and anger was instilled upon their return, and we can never make that up. Tonight, I want to call a fellow friend, a friend who worked closely with another friend of the Valley Patriot in this bash. His name was John Radka. John Radka, you'll learn about him and his story and what he did for so many of our veterans. But Randy Carter is a good friend who, again, learned so much from John. And I'm going to call Randy to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes, please stand.
Please stand and remove your hats if you're wearing them. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Randy, don't give up that microphone quite yet. We want to talk about John and John's legacy and what John continues to do for members of this community. So, Randy, come on up.
Good evening, how are you tonight? So before I came here, I had to give intern girl who works with Tommy a copy of my speech, and she went through it and took out all the swear words I got. So I'm not allowed to use this speech at all. We started a little late today because there were some government officials that were here, and they gave us some documentation about Tommy Duggan. Tommy Duggan did assassinate John F. Kennedy. So there's proof. There is proof for that, right, Tommy? Yeah, we're here tonight to talk about two things. One, John Radka. If you don't know John and you're a veteran, I don't know what to say, because John was the epitome of a veteran supporter. John held the rank of Command Master Chief, and I guess in the Navy, Command Master Chief is, the next rank after that is God. So that's basically what it is. As I said, my name is Randy Carter. I'm the Veterans Program Manager for the Bridge Club at Greater Lowell. But before that, I worked at an agency that's in Haverhill, and we're going to leave it at that, where I had the privilege of working with Command Master Chief John Radka, the man with whom this award is named after. I'll admit it, I don't know Navy ranks, but again, I did not realize everywhere I went with John, they addressed him again like God, Command Master Chief. So if you're in the Navy and you're a Command Master Chief, God bless you. You can walk on water. If you ever met John, you believe it, that he was the kind of a man who didn't care about race, he didn't care about your social standards, he didn't care about economics. He cared that you were a veteran. He cared that you sacrificed and gave the time that you need, that this country needed it. And now it was time for the country to give to you. And one thing John had taught us is to never say no. If a veteran is in need, we find a way to help that veteran. you know, I can't say enough about that man. So if you don't know who John is, please Google his name, look him up, ask Tommy to show you. The man is a god in the Veteran Society. One day John came into my office and said he wanted to hire someone who wasn't a veteran. Now, it's not a requirement to be a veteran to do what we do, but it's a big plus. But John looked at me and just said, you know, this person has what it takes. I see it, I know it, I feel it. And that's what John did. John knew right off the bat, once he started speaking to you, if you were a true person, if you were true to yourself. And he knew that if you had the heart to work with veterans. Because working with veterans is tough. Number one, we're stubborn. We won't ask for help. And if we do ask for help, we really need help. So one day John came in, like I said, and he said, we want to hire this person. He asked me what I thought, and I said, well, the background really isn't there, but we'll give it a shot. I had no idea who this person was until one day there was a knock at my office door. And all of a sudden this little squeaky voice turned around and said, hi. I go, hi. She goes, I gotta admit, I'm a coffee junkie. I like espresso, I like the good stuff, the French roast. She said, I heard you had good coffee down here. And I said, yeah, I do. She goes, would you mind if I have one? And I said, no, come on in. So she came in and introduced herself, and she goes, you don't happen to have Bustelo, do you? I said, yes, I have Bustelo. So she grabbed the coffee, we engaged in small talk, and I said, listen, if my office door is closed, feel free to come in and just make a cup. And so I told her to help herself, and so for a couple weeks, that sweet voice, the little knock on the door, you know, hi, can I get a coffee? Yeah, you can have a coffee. But then one day, that all changed. My door was closed, I don't know why, but all of a sudden the door came flying open. And she goes, don't talk to me, I need a freaking coffee. And she did not use the word freaking, which is why they highlighted it. And I said, that was it, the beast has been unleashed. This person is Yanitha Mendez, who's blushing right now and also playing in my obituary. She's gonna kill me when this is done. Yanitha is not a veteran herself, but her commitment to veterans runs deep. Her father and uncle both served in the Army, correct? Excuse me? Oh, can we have Mark LaPlante come up here? Tommy just interrupted me. But one person who she really admired, loved, was her grandfather, her abuelo, which I learned. That's pretty good, huh? Her grandfather was one of only 65,000 Puerto Rican veterans who served in World War II. You think about that number, 65,000, that sounds like a lot, but in World War II, 65,000 was nothing. Her father served, her grandfather served honorably in World War II. He fought in Europe. He came home and he passed that on to members of his family. Over the years, Yanitha has helped countless veterans and their families, black, white, Hispanic, even Marines. I had to say that. But it didn't matter. What mattered was that they had served honorably, and if they were doing their part, they got the help they deserved. But if Yanitha gave you a task to do, that little sweet knock left, and that voice came out. You can ask for kids they had tonight, they can tell you what that voice in those eyes looked like. Like Command Master Chief John Racker, Yanitha doesn't care where you come from or where you've been. She cares about what you're doing going forward. And if you're willing to do the work, you'll have no better advocate than Yanitha Mendez. So I can keep going. Can I have that? So it's with great honor and deep respect that I present this year's Honorary Hero Veteran Award to Yanitha Mendez, Program Manager for Clear Path to Veterans Management. I'm sorry, Tommy's making more corrections again. So again, Yanitha, this is the first year that we've ever offered the John Racker Hero Veteran Award to a non-veteran because she is a veteran, not only because she dated veterans, but also she has the heart of a veteran, the love and the care it takes, and the dedication. So that's it. Thank you very much. She just asked me if I had a road rating. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's hear it up for Randy and Vincent. Congratulations. So, Gold Star families. If you don't know what a Gold Star family is, those are active duty military members whose son or daughter passed away while in active duty service. Tonight, I see a Gold Star family here is the Lowe family. Are there any other Gold Star families among us? I want to recognize Edmund Lowe and his sacrifice to our country. Edmund, who's of Salem, New Hampshire, was assigned to the 797th Ordnance Company, 79th Ordnance Battalion in Fort Hood, Texas. He died in June of 13th, 2009 in Samarra, Iraq, when an improvised explosive device that disposal team was acting to neutralize detonated. Edmund, a 23-year-old staff sergeant with 6 months in his second tour of Iraq. Lowe graduated from Salem High School in 2004. He was a member of the Air Force Junior ROTC program. He was a commander of the drill team, the Color Guard and Operations Squadron. Lowe was one of the youngest of 6 born to parents who immigrated from Hong Kong. He became a U.S. citizen and Jasmine Computer Repair Services in Salem. The Lowe family wants you to know that we love you. To the Lowe family, we want you to know that we love you. And we will always continue to remember the sacrifice of your son. So I want to invite, in that same presence, I want to invite Dave LaCroix.
I'll be brief because Francisco pretty much got everything off of my speech. Anyway, very briefly, Edmund Lowe was born January 26, 1986 to David and Rosa Lowe. Being part of a hard-working immigrant family, it was very clear to Edmund that the freedom the United States afforded its citizens was something to be cherished and protected. As a young man in Salem, New Hampshire, both Edmund and all of his siblings thrived within a loving, tight-knit family. They all excelled academically and socially within the town of Salem. Each one of them helped out their dad and mom in their computer business in whatever way they could, following the example of a strong work ethic set by David and Rosa. Edmund attended Salem High School and was a member of the junior ROTC program. He was the commander of the drill team, the color guard, and the operations squadron. In his senior year, the Rochester Institute of Technology offered Edmund a full scholarship, but Edmund was determined to serve his country. He decided to enlist in the Army and offer his technical and leadership skills to preserve and protect the freedom that we all enjoy today. Edmund was a natural-born leader. During his two tours of duty, Edmund motivated those around him with his kindness, thoughtfulness, and quick-witted sense of humor. He was respected and loved by all that served beside him. Tragically, on June 13, 2009, our country suffered a great loss when Edmund was killed in action while in Iraq supporting Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was deployed with the 797th EOD Company to support the 25th Infantry Division in Multi-Division North, where he bravely and selflessly eliminated improvised explosive devices. It's a very, very sad day. And I can't even imagine being in the Lowe family and losing such a cherished son. So, we're going to do a short video presentation, but before we hit the play button on that, I'd like to just take a short moment of silence and prayer for Edmund and his family. God bless the Lowe family, and God bless Edmund Lowe, and God bless America. We're going to have a nice video clip of building dedication in Edmund's honor. So, the screens.
For nearly 2 years, 79 Florida's battalion, fellow soldiers decided to pay tribute to their fallen colleague, Staff Sergeant Edmund Lowe, by dedicating their headquarters building to his members. Angie Malone has more.
The 79th Ordnance Battalion changed forever last year with the passing of Staff Sergeant Edmund Lowe. Lowe was a team leader with explosive ordnance disposal.
He was infectious, and his attitude of just wanting to, wasn't a people pleaser, that was him. And he just loved to inspect that good-natured behavior in everybody. So, you know, when you were around him, you were that way.
Lowe died in Samara, Iraq while attempting to defuse an IED. At the ceremony, Lowe was described as a great NCO, role model, and universally loved.
He always was that type of guy that had a smile on his face and it made you smile.
His family traveled from New Hampshire to witness members of Lowe's team unveil a plaque dedicated to their headquarters building in his memory.
Sir Lowe was easily the most liked soldier in the company. He was a perfectionist that would start things and never quit and never get upset with any tasks. He was professional.
The 1st Cavalry Division Memorial on Cooper Field also memorializes the ultimate sacrifice made.
Sir Lowe had a reserved sense of humor, and I had to get to know him, and his jokes were very, very quiet. He was a very likable person. Nothing, never saying bad about him. Just a great person.
And with a chilling wind, attendees witnessed the newly named Staff Sergeant Edmund Lowe Memorial Building. Reporting from Fort Hood, Angie Malone, 3 Corps Public Affairs.
So, we appreciate the Valley Patriots' efforts to help us raise money. We've been raising money for the Edmund Lowe Memorial Scholarship Fund for 14 years now, and the generosity of the Patriot and all you folks who donated into the scholarship fund is greatly, greatly appreciated. Our annual fundraiser will be on Friday, May the 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Salem High School. If anybody feels inspired to come along, it's a pasta dinner and raffles, very similar to what we do here. We'd love it for you to come and just to continue the memory of Edmund and to support his family. And we've got some great candidates that will be selected at that event. There'll be multiple scholarships given out between the funds that were raised here and the funds that we've been raising throughout the year. So we appreciate it. We really thank all of the effort on everybody's part. And that's it from me. No jokes. We're done. Nice and quick.
The one person we never have to worry about is Angel, our photographer. Every year donates his time. Thank you. Patriot Mike Gorman come up for a second? Oh, sure. So this wasn't initially part of the program. But about a month ago, we had a young boy, and I'm going to guess how old he is. I think he's probably 7 years old. Is Cameron in the room? Cameron and his mom? Kim and Gerardo? Yes. Come on up. How old is Cameron? 7? I'm going to turn the microphone over to our grand poobah at TMF, Mike Gorman.
Yeah, so this is really cool. First off, for anyone that doesn't know me, I am the founder and CEO of the nonprofit, the Movement Family, and we're really big with giving back to the community, specifically Lawrence, Mass. And we had this young boy, Cameron, and his family reached out. You know, they had a family vacation, and this young boy, he saw quite a few homeless individuals outside. And I think the curiosity and that big heart he's got right here kind of got to him, and he just he wondered if he could give back to individuals that didn't have much. So he shows up at the TMF dinner at the Buckley Garage, which is the old bus station on Common Street in Lawrence. And he comes with a ton of hygiene bags that he put together with his family just so he could help individuals that are going through some dark times in their life. And boy, did you make them feel special that night, little man, because they were super appreciative. So I just wanted to congratulate Cameron and give him back to some lost souls. So thank you, Cameron. I'd like to present you the Community Patriot Superhero Service Award.
Cameron, do you have any words of advice about people? Should they get involved? Should they help others? Tell us what you think.
I think they should.
And why do you do it, Cameron? Why do you do it?
I think the people should deserve it.
There you go. Thanks, Cameron. Congratulations. Okay. Now, can we have Dee O'Neill, former state rep Lenny Mira, hero veteran Donnie Jarvis, if any of Dan Strange's relatives are in the room, Ken DeLuca, Cecilia Geyer, sorry if I butchered your name, and her family, please come up. All right, up on the stage.
Yeah, come on, don't be shy.
And the entrance to the stage is over there because of the step.
It's the Valley Patriot Bash. Don't be shy. Everybody's doing this on the stage.
It is far more solid than it was yesterday. And by the way, just a little thank you here to MJ. Where's MJ? MJ made this stage into what it can support all of us. Let's just say it wasn't there last night. He made it happen. So thank you, MJ. This scholarship was originally started by Ken DeLuca for a Haverhill High School senior going into public safety or social work in the name of his sister Michelle. Our good friend Dan Strange helped us raise money for the scholarship every year, and when Dan passed away in 2019, we decided to rename the scholarship for Dan with Ken and his family's permission. Where's Lenny?
No, I didn't know I was speaking today. Sheesh, okay, look at this. I'd like to tell you all Cecilia is receiving this scholarship tonight. Cecilia is a senior at Haverhill High School where she is enrolled in the CTE Honors Program for Biomedical Science. She is routinely on the honor roll, typically in the top tier. Cecilia works as a lifeguard and swim instructor for the annual YMCA. In January, she will begin an internship at Lawrence General Hospital. She has been accepted at several colleges and is awaiting responses from several others. Right now, she is leaning toward Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where she plans to study medicine and theology. Cecilia has been an active member of the Girl Scouts for 13 plus years, and she has earned her Girl Scout Bronze Award 2018, Gold Award 2000, okay. All right, this is bronze, but that's great, and is currently wrapping up her Gold Award project, focusing on teen engagement with the Haverhill Public Library. The Gold Award is the highest award she can earn in Girl Scouts, but she hasn't officially earned it yet. She's on her way. And she has it. All right, congratulations, Cecilia. All right. She was also selected to serve as a delegate to the Girl Scout National Conference in 2023, kind of the equivalent of Congress for GS, and she is a member of the National Honor Society, Foreign Language Honor Society, and the Science Honor Society. Cecilia is a member of her church group for 7 years, including the Girls Reading Group. She also served as a junior counselor at Camp Luther, located in 3 Lakes, Wisconsin. As part of the Girl Scout troop, she has helped out with multiple projects for clients of Emma's House and their food pantry. And Mike Gorman, is Mike Gorman here? All right, then we have a recruit over there, and for these reasons and so many more, the Valley Patriot family would like to present to you this check in the amount of $9,500.
Congratulations, Cecilia. Okay. Well, they're moving down the walkway here. I do want to recognize some of the sponsors that made this possible. So we've already had some of the Elks and Rick, and obviously dinner. How many people enjoyed dinner? I would say those meatballs were pretty damn good. And I met Michael for the first time, actually, who was the owner of Salvatore's. He's about the same height as my grandmother, so it makes sense that the meatballs are good. That's where the similarities end. But God rest her soul, Michael came and delivered for us tonight. So the program books on your tables were handmade by Bob Westcott of the Lawrence Exchange Club. Where's Bob? I saw him earlier. Thank you, Bob. Our house photographer, Angel Garcia. And AG Moments is the name of the business if you're looking for a photographer. Video production tonight by Janet Aldrich and John Abramson from Conflim Journalists, independent journalists. And donating the stage tonight, Steve Alfano, supplemented by MJ. So thank you. And then, so we're going to get to more sponsors later. I do want to throw in a few of the big money donors because I think there are a number of them and I don't want to go through them all at once. Laborers Union. Right.
So well.
Alright, so I'm going to skip that one. 50, we got a sizable donation from the following people. Al Balloon, a little round of applause for Al. If you're here and I say your name, raise your hand. Stand up, do a dance, do something. Take the recognition. Former State Rep Lenny Mira, who's just up here. Thank you, Lenny. Joey Beal. Joey Bale. Who's Joey Bale? Not here. He's got his check cleared though, so it doesn't matter if he's not here. Of course, we miss his company. Did I say that out loud? Franz Akers Associates in Salem, New Hampshire. Zaka Shafiq and everyone at AFC Urgent Care. Tom is a frequent flyer at Urgent Care. We're hoping we make it through the night without him ending up there yet again. All right, and we're going to stop after Joel Dieslitz. So Joel was also a big money donor. There's a number of people. We're going to get through them for the rest of the night, but if we want to break it up.
Hi, do we have, is Mike Gagliardi here? Mike? Okay, for those of you not listening, probably the majority of you, to Tom's podcast yesterday, he said on his podcast that Tom is a right-wing lunatic, and Mike Gagliardi is a left-wing lunatic. In fact, he's the head of the laborers union. Laborers Union 175. Mike is always here to support the bash and our terrific scholarship winners. This year, he presented us with a $5,000 check. So, a big thank you to Laborers Union 175, Mike Gagliardi. So we're going to try and keep things going since we started on Duggan time tonight. Can we have Ron Marsan? Anyone else from the Lawrence Tech, formerly the Vote? Any Methuen officials? Okay, just a reminder while they're coming up, we still have the 50-50 going, the people are out there. The raffle in the corner over here. Buy your tickets.
Raise your hand if you're selling 50-50 tickets. Raise your hand just so people know where you are. Some of the money from the proceeds are going to go to TMF to help feed the homeless. So make sure you contribute, guys.
Okay, I think we have everyone here. Nope. Ron? Doug, I guess we're giving the mic to Ron.
Ron, who's Ron?
Ready?
While they're doing that, I just want to let you know that next Saturday, April 5th, they're going to be rededicating the bronze, a corner in Lawrence for Purple Heart Bronze Star Philip Moore World War II veteran in Lawrence, April 5th at 10 a.m. Where Cedar Crest used to be. Thank you for David Blake for letting us know.
All right, this is our 10th year giving the Valley Patriot a Greater Lawrence Tech Scholarship. Each year, our friend Mr. Finacaro puts a scholarship application to the Catholic to choose our recipient. And this year, the only person left standing after she was done was the recipient tonight, Thomas Cotis. Thomas, come on, please.
Thomas and your parents come up on stage.
Thomas Coder is a senior in the carpentry department, which is the best department over there in the world, at the Greater Lawrence Technical School. He resides in Methuen with his dad, Thomas. He currently ranks 11th in his class of 423 and maintains a 4.24 weighted GPA while taking the most rigorous academic programs available, including all honor courses and dual enrollment classes.
Beyond academics, Thomas has achieved a member of the Greater Lawrence community. He's been a standout athlete on the boys soccer team, serving as a varsity captain since his sophomore year. He's led his teammates to a 3-time CAC All-Star and the team's top goal scorer in his senior year. Additionally, he serves as a member of the Carpentry Advisory Board, collaborating with educators and industry professionals to help shape the curriculum. Throughout the co-op program, he works as the carpenter's apprentice at Black Dog Builders, applying his technical skills in a professional setting. Looking ahead, Thomas plans to pursue a degree in civil engineering. He was chosen for this scholarship by former Greater Lawrence Tech School Committee member and former Methuen City Councilor Jessica Finicaro after a vigorous search and a deserving student. Thomas, you may know, but this is your host tonight. Tom Duggan was in the carpentry department back in 1981. And boy, does he look old now, huh? And Mr. LaVoy, the superintendent now, was his shop teacher. Tonight, the Valley Patriot is proud to present you with this check in the amount of $8,535.
And that's the highest amount ever for this scholarship. Thanks to you guys.
Thomas, thank you very much. Thanks for representing the school. Hope you have great fun in your endeavors. Thank you.
Picture. If that presentation was not a testament to MJ's carpentry work, I don't know what is. We had a whole bunch of people up on the stage, and it all worked out. I just want to thank a few more of our sponsors. Bernice over at Walmart. Walmart! There we go. Walmart doesn't get love often. It's nice when they do. The John Ratko Memorial Scholarship. Former Governor Charlie Baker made an anonymous donation. It was legitimately supposed to be anonymous. Tom didn't read that until after he publicly thanked him. So he tried to be anonymous, it didn't work, and we're going to keep saying it just because. Artie Gamoulis Foundation, and a big thank you to Andy Clegg for helping put that together. F.H. Kahn Associates. Eugene Smith of Military Connections. We have another anonymous donor who's actually still anonymous. Good job, Tommy. We got Dave Garofolo of Two Guys Smoke Shop and the New England Police Benevolent Association. Actually, since I have the microphone for a second, there was one thing that I wanted to ask. So, since I was going to be participating this year, I kind of wanted to make sure everything was on the up and up. So, I think you all know Diana DeZoglio is supposed to be auditing our legislature, right? 70-something% of the voters said yes, the legislature so far said no. But since she had some downtime, I had her do an audit of last year's batch. Because frankly, I want to make sure the money's going where it needs to go. So the money is going pretty much where it needs to go. There was only one receipt in question. So since we have a minute, Tom, I'm hoping you can answer these questions. So you might remember the purchase. The receipt is from Two Guys Smoke Shop. There was a box of Macanudos, a box of Cohibas, a box of Trojan Magnums, and a bag of rubber bands. So, hey, they got the joke. There you go. Thank you. Okay. There was also a case of soap on a rope, but those were later returned. So things worked out. He didn't need them. Brought it back. It's no longer an issue. So if we could just get an explanation for those purchases, Tommy. Alright, so 99.9% of the money goes where it needs to go. Every so often something goes sideways. Thank you.
Okay, can we have any Methuen officials come up to the stage? Alright, one more time. Pavel Piano, DJ Barga, Abby Mendez and her family, Martha Tatro, and Erica Lansing. So this is the first year that the Phil Glendy Special Needs Scholarship is going to a student from Methuen High School. It is also the first time the scholarship is not going to a special needs student, but instead is going to a student who will dedicate her life to being a special needs teacher. Who was Phil Glenda? Phil was a teacher in Lawrence who ran the Special Olympics for 25 years at the Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is our 5th year honoring Phil at our bash with a scholarship in his name because nobody, absolutely nobody cared more or did more for those special needs kids than Phil Glenda. He was also at the bash every year. And what better way to honor Phil than to give a scholarship that bears his name to Methuen's Abby Mendez.
Abigail Abby Mendez is a senior at Methuen High School and will be attending Fishburne State University. Applause. She will be studying special education for children with mild to severe disabilities. Abby is one of our recent TMF volunteers who has come to help feed the homeless in Lawrence multiple times over the last few years. She came with her high school cheer team and also came to TMF with her Methuen Pop Warner cheer team, which put her at the top of our scholarship nomination list. Abby started cheering for Methuen Pop Warner when she was 10, but during a routine was hit in the head by another teammate and sustained a concussion that gave her severe migraines and setbacks over the next 5 years. Abby was put on an IEP to help her with her studies and struggled for a few years to be able to concentrate and keep her grades up. But she never gave up, and she continued to study hard in school and continued to support her team on the sidelines, even though she couldn't participate. After several attempts by doctors, they were finally able to relieve her of her chronic pain from the injury, which allowed her to try out for the Methuen High School cheer team, and today no longer required an IEP, thank God. Abby, I'm like really tuned into the story right now. Abby was selected captain of the team for her senior year last fall, which made her proud and confident that the accident didn't take away her future. Abby, for overcoming such adversity and for using that experience to try and help others, as well as your willingness to help TMF feed the homeless, we are all proud to present you with this check. Applause. Check for $8,600.
Okay, we're going to thank a few more sponsors calling in. And first of all, I do want to thank the people who are being quiet and respectful. It's been tough for people to concentrate. I know everybody likes having their friends and talking to them, but please give some attention to the people speaking. Just want to thank some of our sponsors, New England Training Center, Cody's Towing, Callahan Heating, Plumbing. I believe they are here, right? They're here. Okay. And they know where the bar is. I say that because it's an Irish last name. By the way, a shout out to all the Irish people who survived St. Patrick's Day this year. So, RAG Associated, they're here too. Right? Are they here? After that, I didn't want to say anything. All right. Martineau Towing, State Rep Frank Moran, Borelli's Deli. Borelli's here? Ron Tony Giordano Transportation, JG's Ice Cream, Chang's Taekwondo, Forever Young Solutions. I believe they're here, right? Forever Young. Yeah, stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on. They're a big donor. We want them to stand up. They want to be recognized. Hey, here we go. There you go. Untamed Beauty Med Spa in North Andover. Billy Evans, Gold Standard Cleaners, Connie and everyone at Romano's Pizza in Methuen. Lawrence Mayor Brian DePena, Sheehan's Towing, Gene Baroni and Trident Project Management, the Lawrence High Alumni Association, HASMU at Route 110 Convenience in Methuen. Are you guys here? Nope. Ken DeLuca, Attorney Paul Lambert of Lambert Randone. Is Paul here? Paul's not here. And Dee O'Neill at 411 Cares.
Okay, on to the next section. And we have come up to the stage Lindsay Gorman, Nancy Gorman, Nancy Morano, come on, Rick Gorman, Michael Gorman, Senator Pavel Piano, come on back. Is Diana Gisoglio here? Now before I pass the mic off to Mike Gorman, he's been up here a few times tonight because he really does something wonderful. He runs TMF in Lawrence. If you've ever been to that, it's really life-changing to see what people experience when they're living with the difficulty of homelessness, drug addiction, other problems, and they end up out living in the streets, under a bridge in Lawrence, in a tent. And Mike, for many years, it used to be a program that ran just a couple months a year, and now it runs every week of the year, which is amazing because somehow, with the generosity of people, Mike is able to get food donated to serve every Wednesday. Every single Wednesday. That's amazing. Every year around Thanksgiving, I always kind of laugh to myself because it's Thanksgiving and Christmas that you see your politicians like the governor or the mayor of Boston, and they show up at a homeless event on Thanksgiving. Well, guess what? For a photo walk. I'm serious. They show up on Thanksgiving, they pretend to hand out food, and Thanksgiving and Christmas is when they don't need volunteers because there are plenty, or more than you have during the rest of the year. They could use somebody that shows up on a Wednesday in May, or even better, a Wednesday in January or February, because when Mike does this, he's outdoors in the Buckley Garage. And there was a time with the previous mayoral administration in Lawrence where they were banned from the Buckley Garage, apparently because they were doing a good thing. And they were in an outside location where there was nothing to cover them. And they were out there in the rain and the snow, and it's miserable out there in January. And that's what Mike does. But it's not just food. It's really a privilege to go there. If you ever have a chance, just go. So, depending on what Mike is able to have donated, they could give out sleeping bags, blankets. He gets sneakers donated, socks. They have a table where they set up board games so the people who come can play the board games. They love Connect 4. I don't know why, but it's very popular. They have tables set up with books where they can just come and take a book. But one of the more amazing things I saw there, and I wish I knew his name, and Mike, if you want to say, it's a young man who I believe owns 2 barber shops, one in Lawrence, and he brings his whole team on a Wednesday night, and he cuts anybody's hair that wants to. And I really sat back and I reflected and said, you know, it must be an amazing feeling after you've slept all night on the street, and then you get your hair cut. You must feel like a new person. And last thing I'll say is what Mike does every event, and this kind of blows my mind because you have to see the effect it has. He gets up and he speaks and he talks about different people there and different things they need to know. And then he tells the people that show up to try not to despair, to try not to let that drug addiction or pain take over their life, and he's there to help. And then he stands up and says, you know, if nobody has told you today that they love you, we're here today to tell you that we love you. Thank you, Mike Gorman. Doug, do we have the mic? Give it to Mike, please.
Michael? We played a trick on somebody tonight.
Definitely played a trick. It's gonna be pretty confused here. So, hello everyone again. You know, I've been fortunate. I've spoken at a lot of places throughout the years, but I think this one right here is probably the most special to me. So, this individual has been the executive director of the North Andover Youth Center since it began in 1988. He received a master's degree in community social psychology from UMass Lowell in 1993 and received a bachelor's degree in government and pre-law from Suffolk University in 1984. This man right here is my role model, my hero. It's also special because we have a table from the North Andover Youth Center. Where's the youth center at? Over there. So we got 9 individuals there that hold a really special place in this gentleman's heart. So we have over there Molly, Demi, Kyle, Nicole, Steve, John, Kyle, and Will. So first off, really appreciate you guys being here. It means so much. This individual also founded the New England Storm basketball AAU program as well as the BST training program. Man, my best friend, my brother is Georges Niang. He's playing in the NBA right now for the Atlanta Hawks. And you know, we go back to when we were little kids playing in the backyard and going to the youth center late at night and having him work us out. But what was most important was the life aspects that he taught me and my brother, best friend, Georges Niang. If you've heard me speak before, I've always said 86400. So this gentleman, he basically would always send me a text every morning. And it was, you have 86,400 seconds in a day. What are you gonna do with your time? How can you make a difference in your life? How can you make a difference in someone else's life? The other thing that he did for me is he wrote me a letter each year before I started college of how to try to make the right decisions and right choices in life. and to just be a good person in this world. He was always there for me. He never missed one of my basketball games throughout high school, as well as all the gymnasiums throughout New England. I played at Norwich University, all the way up in Vermont, to different colleges in Maine, and he was always there for me every single time. This individual couldn't be here tonight. Her name is Asia Valdez. She was in tears last night that she couldn't be here. But when she spoke about the impact that he had on her life, she describes it as, he got me through the hardest and darkest times of my life, got me to college, and made me who I am today. Many remember me as the young kid behind the youth center front desk as a little kid, but the individual that we're recognizing that we tricked tonight, usually if you're receiving an award, at least from my experience, you're informed ahead of time, just to make sure that you're in the room for the night. This evening, we had to play a trick pretending that I'm getting the award, when in reality, it's my dad, who's the executive director of the youth center for the last 38 years, who has received the Lifetime Achievement Award. He actually announced his retirement. He'll be retiring a year from now. But Dad, thank you for all you do. Love you, man, and I appreciate you. And this award, the Lifetime Achievement Award, was actually dedicated in memory of another one of my role models, someone that means so much to me, and that's Frank H. Can. And if we could have his family, Ernesto and Kara, up here as well.
Okay, well then, taking a few photos here. It looks like there's a commendation from the House of Representatives. Is that what that is? An official citation. State Senate, sorry, State Senate. All right, I just want to thank some of our sponsors, the Haverhill and Lawrence Lions Club, Lawrence City Councilor Ronnie Marson, State Rep Stella Reyes, State Rep Ryan Hamilton, Sass Quintana, Five Dragons Martial Arts in Haverhill, Early Contractors in Haverhill, Tebow Architects in Boston, Sheriff Kevin Coppinger. Sheriff! Sheriff, where's the sheriff? There we go. I'm gonna let, hold on, Tommy, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna let you read the next one.
District Attorney Paul Tucker, who tried to put me in prison last year.
I forgot to pull the microphone away. Our buddy, Valley Patriot International Correspondent Sean Ferris, Dave LaCroix, Northern Process Servers, NAM or NAM Knights of the Merrimack Valley, Billy Evans, former Methuen Mayor Steve Zanni, EIS Investigation and Gun Training, Clear Path for Veterans, New England. So thank you to all of those sponsors. And Chris, back to you. All right. Oh, no, actually, hold on. I'm calling Mike Norman back to the stage. Yeah. Never mind. We're going straight to Chris.
Hello. Okay. Is the third time. Is Pavel Piano up there?
Maybe we should have gotten Pavel another seat over here. There you go.
All right. Our next speaker is someone who votes wrong on everything. It is somewhere to the left of Elizabeth Warren. But somehow, he and Tom Duggan are still friends. Showing all the haters that you can respect each other and still care about each other and not agree on everything. Pavel Piano started his career as a member of the Lawrence School Committee, which he has in common We try to forget that, Tom. But you're wonderful. He then became a city councilor at large, and now he is a state senator representing Lawrence, Methuen, and Haverhill. And Pavel, before I give you the mic, can you do something about the Eversource energy costs? Right? Welcome, Pavel.
Thank you for that incredible introduction. You know, I want to say that when I first got into politics, as they were saying, was in the school committee. I was 23 years old. Everyone loved me. I'm telling you, I've never gotten such a red carpet treatment ever. They all loved me. The next mayor, the next leader, everything was great until my first vote. And at that point, they all hated me. But one of the things I appreciated around that time is I remember that same month, I got a call from a former school committee member. And he was the only elected official or even former elected officials that took their time to give me a call and to talk to me. And he started off with saying, my name is Tom Duggan. You probably don't know me. I'm like, oh no, I know who you are. And he's like, yeah, and that means that you hate me. And I'm like, I hate you? He's like, yeah, because me and your dad used to go at it. My dad wrote for one paper, Tom wrote for the other paper, and they used to go at each other. And I'm like, no, my dad enjoyed it because you gave him reasons and things to write about. And since then, you know, Tom and I have been really good friends. You know, and one of the things I appreciate about Tom, you know, sometimes people ask me, even today, I got a few folks telling me, why are you going there? He's crazy. And I'm gonna be honest, I tell Tom all the time, you're nuts. And he tells me that I'm crazy as well. But what I appreciate about the conversations that we have is that we actually take a moment to listen to each other and to think things through. And there are times, once a year, where he comes up and he says, you know something? You were right. And I appreciate those times. And there are times when I do the same. And I think that you don't see that a lot in, not just in politics today, but within our community as a whole. I think events like this remind us that community isn't built by institutions. It's built by people like yourselves, by the folks who check in on their neighbors, who stay late at work so a coworker can get home to their kids, who organize food drives, mentor young people, or step into danger every day wearing a badge or a uniform, not for recognition, but because it is the right thing to do. The spirit of service is what we're celebrating tonight. To the police officers, the firefighters, the veterans, the first responders, our youth, being honored, thank you. Not just for your service that you've already given, but for the example you continue to set for the rest of us. You are what community looks like in action. To the students receiving scholarships, I want you to take in this moment. You've earned it. And I hope you walk into your next chapter knowing you have a whole community behind you, rooting for your success. What you achieved so far is impressive. But I have no doubt that what comes next will be more powerful. As your state senator, I've had the privilege of visiting every corner of this district, from small businesses and schools to community health centers and job training programs. In Methuen and across the valley, I've met people who are doing everything they can to build a better life for themselves and their family. That is why so much of my work this session has focused on strengthening the support systems that lift people up. I've worked to secure funding for programs that provide real access to job training, healthcare, and education. This includes organizations right here in our region, like Make It Haverhill and the Mobile Health Initiative through the Greater Lawrence Family Health Center. And this one is important. They're here today. I want to thank you all, if you've got the folks from the clinic, for what you do. We were able to get funding for them to buy a van where they go to the homeless, not just in Lawrence, not just in Methuen or Haverhill, but across the region, and actually bring the doctors to them to make sure that these folks are being taken care of. These investments matter because they meet people where they are and open doors that would otherwise remain closed. And this year, I've taken on a new role as the chair of the Joint Committee on Consumer Protection and Professional Licensure, where we work with from barbers to electricians to new entrepreneurs, focusing on making sure our systems support people with ambition and drive, not to slow them down. We talk a lot about freedom of speech, and that's fitting tonight, because freedom of speech means creating space for people to be heard. And it means making room for honest conversations, even, and this is important to those folks that are speaking, even when we don't all agree. And what makes events like this so valuable is that we can show up together, honor those who serve, invest in the next generation, and focus on what brings us together instead of what divides us. That's the kind of leadership I believe in. One rooted in service and listening, and in showing up, not just during elections, but all year long. So I want to thank you again to Tom, the Valley Patriot, for 20 years of community journalism, advocacy, and action. Thank you to the families, teachers, business owners, and neighbors who make this region what it is. Thank you to every person in this room who has stepped up to give back. It is a privilege to serve this district, and I'm proud to be here with all of you celebrating this evening. I'll leave you all with this. Regardless of your political stances, regardless of what team you enjoy, at the end of the day, we're all Americans, and let's focus on that. Thank you, and God bless.
So this is the part of the evening where we kind of flip things a little bit. I stopped saying how wonderful Tom is, and now it's time for Tom to start saying how wonderful he is. Here we go. Last year we got to celebrate Tom's victory over death, as he had just come out of the hospital from a life-threatening illness. But death did not want him and sent him back. This year, we get to celebrate Tom's freedom. This past year, he was targeted by criminals who decided to use the criminal justice system to try and silence him and stop him from writing a story about their corruption in Lawrence City Hall. When I showed up at the bash, usually Tom is kind of relaxed because he had a few drinks. But last year, he was in a panic. This is true. He was in a complete panic. Because at that time, Kelly Frazier had taken out a restraining order on him to prevent that story from being published. And he couldn't be in the same room or place as her. And Tom had gotten word that she had showed up at the bash. And Tom was afraid that he would be arrested. And he could have ended up with about 2.5 years in jail. I don't know if you're like me, you don't really think about your freedom that much, you enjoy it. Because you're out there working, contributing to society, and not thinking that you're going to be, or you're the type of person that would end up in jail. It got me to think, he really was terrified. So I said, Tom, I'm going to go take a look around and confirm whether or not Kelly is here. So I walked around Relief Sin, and sure enough, she was there. And I went over and told Tom. And Tom breathed a sigh of relief, and I was confused. And I said, Tom, she's here. And he goes, yeah. And I said, she's in the bar. And that's why Tom was relieved. And I said, why? He goes, well, if she's in the bar, she's never leaving until they take her out on Monday morning. I did not. Sorry. Okay. Oh, rule 1. I'm sorry, I forgot my own rule. By the way, did Kells Dash Debo make it here tonight? Well, Tom, they're probably in the bar, right? Just like last year? Getting ready to drive home. 2 weeks after last year's bash, and if you didn't follow it, because those of you know Tom, his entire life is on Facebook. If there's anything you want to know or don't want to know, that's where you go. So 2 weeks after the bash, they served Tom with stalking orders. And Tom went to an engagement party at a church, right on Broadway in Methuen, Tom? 93 Broadway. And Tom, when he left the engagement party, posted on Facebook, I was at an engagement party at that church. 2 hours later, police showed up at Tom's door. Reason being is because he posts his life on Facebook. Kelly saw that. And believe it or not, she has an office for her charity in the basement of that church. So at midnight, on Saturday night, she drove from Salem, New Hampshire, in fear of her life from Tom, to Methuen, and went to the Methuen police and said, Tom was at a place he shouldn't have been, because I have an office there. Who knew? Well, we're getting to that. So Tom was arrested, and as he says, he spent the weekend in Methuen Cell Block 3, which is actually where he spent the weekend, because Facebook was silent that weekend. So, fast forward a few months. Tom called me up. He's a little nervous again. And I can understand why. He's a little emotional. And I said, what's going on? He goes, well, today, I was delivered the body cam footage of Kelly going to the Methuen police station that Saturday night at midnight. So he wanted somebody to watch it with him, just another person, because he figured he'd be a little too emotional to watch it. I've never expected to really watch body cam footage. So I went over and we put it on. And sure enough, there's Kelly and her husband at midnight on a Saturday in Methuen, they live in Salem. Tom lives in North Andover. And Kelly convinced them that Tom had broken the restraining order and that he needed to be arrested. So, in that body cam footage, she's clearly telling the Methuen police, where she has that office in that church in the basement, that she owns the building. Yes, if you didn't know, Kelly owns a church. And the Methuen police officer, without confirming, believed her. Contacted the North Andover police. And what was it, Tom? 1 in the morning? 2 in the morning? 1 a.m., 4 police officers showed up, and you can see it on the body camera at the entrance to Tom's apartment. For those of you who know Tom, 4 police officers is probably a little excessive. As we all know, Tom couldn't outrun a 90-year-old retired school crossing guard with arthritis. So we're watching the video, and Tom comes downstairs. Now, if you know another thing about Tom and Facebook, Tom doesn't believe in DoorDash. He believes in my Facebook friends dash. So whenever, you know. So when Tom wants a coffee or a sub, he puts it out on Facebook and says, hey friends, if you're in the area, could you pick up a coffee or a sub and bring it to me? No, this is true. And shockingly, they show up. So Tom thinks at 1 a.m., hey, someone's surprising me with a sub or a coffee or something. So we stand, we watch the footage, we have audio and video, and Tom says, really? I'm going to jail? Are you kidding? She said she owns the church? So Tom says, well, if you're going to take me to jail, I have to go upstairs and get a couple of prescriptions. Knowing Tom, going up the stairs to his apartment was about 20 minutes. And then they're downstairs, the officers are waiting for him, and they can't figure out what's taking so long. They figured they'd reached the second floor by then. And he's upstairs, they go up and they find him, he's stuffing a pillowcase with prescriptions. So Tom comes downstairs, and it's the end of the video. There are two. This is the end of the first video. And at the end of the video, they put Tom into the back of it. It's not an SUV, I guess it's a PUV, right? Police utility vehicle. As the video fades, you can hear Tom talking to the officer. And you hear him say, hey, what's the schedule for conjugal visits? Number one, I did it right. Because he knew Joe Solomon was coming to visit him. Tom. This would have been the end of the Valley Patriot. The end of this bash. And the end of Tom's journey of helping people in the community. And now, a man who shouldn't even be here, fresh off his casting call of Orange is the New Black. Fresh from Cell Block 3, Tom Duggan.
Very good. Hold on. I gotta give my mom a hug. Hold on.
Well, he's giving his mother a hug. Let's remind people there's 50-50 raffle tickets. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets. I think we need to walk around the room to try to sell them. Tom's gonna make it? He made it. We should have actually taken bets on if he was going to make it back onto the stage.
I would have bet that way. Wow. Every year, I get up here for my middle of the program speech, so you know we're halfway done now. And I'd just like to take like 2 seconds to look around the room and say thank you all for coming. Without you guys, I'm a lonely guy in an office at the Valley Patriot in North Andover, posting things on Facebook, trying to make a difference. Without every single one of you making donations, buying advertising in the newspaper, helping to volunteer with us, again, I would be alone in an office doing nothing. So I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause. Before I start, I want to thank my mom and Uncle Frankie. Hello? Something about this side of the room they don't seem to understand. There's a little program going on up here. Most people don't know when I was 9 years old, my aunt and uncle, who I now call mom and dad, took me in. I was not an easy kid to deal with, as you can imagine. I've mellowed over the years, just think about that for a minute. And they took me in, and they taught me the life values that I have today appreciating police officers, firefighters, veterans, EMTs, the people in our community who get no thanks, who get attacked by the media, who get attacked by political activists, who go out every single day with no thanks at all to help people that they don't even know. And the fact that we're all standing here or sitting here tonight at the Valley Patriots 21st Anniversary Bash to donate money to kids who are going to college that we don't even know is not because Tom Duggan did it. It's because Auntie Dottie and Uncle Frankie instilled the values of that into Tom Duggan so he could do that. I love you both. Thank you very much. There's someone else before I go on with what I have to say tonight that I want to thank. She saved my life. And you know, she didn't just save my life. That day when she called me on the phone and I didn't answer, and she just had a feeling something was wrong. She showed up at my office just to see how I was doing because I wasn't answering the phone. Found me slumped over my desk. She's all of 80 pounds soaking wet. Carried me down a flight of stairs, brought me to the hospital, where I ended up in a coma for 11 days, intubated for 14. I was at Lawrence General Hospital for 34 days. I was at Hannah Dustin Rehab for 7 to 14 days. And I never would have made it. I never would have lived. They told her when she brought me into the hospital that 20 more minutes, and I wouldn't have made it. Yeah. Thank you, Nancy. But she didn't just save my life. She's been a part of my life. Nancy, most people don't know, is Mike Gorman's mom. And if you've ever seen Mike Gorman helping the homeless, helping those who are down on their luck, helping people who are at the very worst part of their life, when I first met Michael, I thought, this guy's full of shit. There's nobody that's that nice. There's nobody who's that genuine. There's nobody who just does things that selflessly. He's got to be putting on an act. And then I met Nancy and Rick, and it all totally made sense. So I want to thank Nancy and Rick for the way you raised your son to make a difference in people's lives. Thank you. Hey, you Team F kids, how you doing over there? You guys having fun? Yeah. Joe Sullivan, did you make it in the room tonight? I saw he was probably not here. Is Andrea still here? You text Joe, make sure he comes in later on. Thank you. Have you guys met intern girl, Kalana? Stand up, Kalana. Could you imagine a Tom Duggan intern looking any different? I also want to thank Grocery Girl, who's walking around selling 50-50. What's the 50-50 at right now?
It's at $1,300.
$1,300. If you want 50-50, now's the time to buy. It's $1,300. You get half. She's going to go around again. I also want to thank Math Girl Laurie, who's helping us with our scholarship math tonight. Estella Reyes, are you still here, honey? Where is she? Come on up. Is she here? She left. Mike Gagliardi, I don't think I saw him. So every year, So in 2014, head of the Laborers Union Local 175, Mike Gagliardi, bought a table, and we thought he was mad at us because we thought he stormed out. 10 minutes after he got here, he left. And we thought, oh my God, this guy donates so much money to our bash every year, and he does so much for us every year. I hope he didn't leave mad. Yeah, that's the one, right? I didn't need that, Laurie.
Don't tell me.
So every year since then, so he left anyways, and I called him later on that week and I said, hey, are you mad at me? What happened? He said, no, I met a bunch of friends at the bar. We decided to go back to the hotel where the after party is, and we were partying all night. I'm sorry I left early. I said, well, we had something for you. That was in 2014. We still have his award. He hasn't been back since. We won't be able to show up tonight. It says 2014 on here. He swore to God up and down he'd be here tonight. What's our total for the scholarships, Bath Girl? $66,391 that you guys donated for a bunch of kids that you've never met. How incredible is that? And you know what? After this bash, people go on Facebook, they call me, they send me letters, and thank me. They say, Tom, what you do is incredible. It's not what I do. It's what you do that's incredible. Because you guys have no idea who Cecilia Geyer is, or J. Ronnie Ferrin, or Edmund Lowe. You guys have no idea who these scholarship kids are that we pick. But you see that they need something, you see the Facebook posts, and you go to Venmo or PayPal or Cash App, and you say, here, I want to help. And so for that, you all deserve a round of applause. Now there's a bunch of people who gave money this year, and normally I like to focus on the people who gave the most money. Hello? Guillermo, everybody. And we've had a lot of people who have given a lot of money. Mike Gagliardi gave us $5,000 this year. Zaka from AFC Educate gave us $4,000 this year. But you know, there was a little kid, his name was it Ramirez? Was it Ramirez? Who went out in Haverhill and collected cans for a weekend and raised about $10. And his mom called me and said, I know this is going to kind of sound weird, but would you accept a $10 donation? Because my son went out and collected cans because he heard that there was a girl that needed money for school. And I don't think they're here, but I'd like you guys to give that little 7-year-old kid money. If you look at your program book at the very end, like the last couple of pages, it's our in memoriam page. And that's a page, there's a couple of pages there that show the people who come to this event every single year who have since passed away. When we started the Valley Patriot Bash, we didn't really intend on this to be an event where we raise money for scholarships. We actually just did it like to have a party. So the 8th anniversary, we said we'd have a party because it was our 100th edition. And I went into Chris Eldridge afterwards and said, listen, if you're going to get a bunch of people in a room, why don't you get them to pony in for some scholarship money for the Lawrence High Alumni Association? And so we did that. So thank you, Chris, because without Chris Eldridge, who's been one of our MCs tonight, there would be no scholarships tonight. There'd be no $66,000, and this event would only be a couple of awards, and we'd all be getting drunk and having fun. Thank you, Chris. Well, there he is. Thank you, Chris. Stand up, Chris. And we didn't think it was going to last this long, but we've lost a lot of friends along the way. We lost Frank Cannon, who was instrumental in donating a lot of money to kids at Lawrence High School, and a lot of money for kids at Methuen High School. Can I get your attention just for like a couple of minutes, and then we're going to take a break? I swear, we'll have a break in like 10 minutes. And Frank Cannon was a part of this bash every single year. And if you look at the back, so was Dan Strange. And so was Timmy Pellegrino, my people, I miss him a lot. There were an awful lot of people who come to this bash every year that we never thought we'd be having a bash 20 years later, missing some of them. So I'd like a round of applause and a moment of silence for those who have been at our Valley Patriot Bash every year, who are looking down on us because they're not with us anymore.
Moment of silence, please.
Thank you very much. I also want to thank Rick Belanti, our DJ, who does this for free every single year. He goes for free every single year. Is Bob Westcott still here? Bob Westcott used to own Copy Labs. He's a member of the Lawrence Exchange Club. And he came to a bash one day about 10 years ago, and he said, I'm so blown away about what you guys do, but your program book looks really horrible. Would you please let us print your program book? And I said, what's it going to cost? And he said, nothing. And for the last 15 years, he's been doing the program book that's on your table for no cost. Full color, glossy paper, and as a publisher, I can tell you, that costs a lot of money. Thank you, Bob Westcott. How the Cody people doing? The Cody people still here? Wow. Alpha, a friend of ours, came to my office about 7 years ago and he was heartbroken and he was in tears. And he said, my friend Dan Cody, who I didn't know unfortunately, had passed away. And he said, I know your bash is a week from now. Is there any way we can do a scholarship in his name? I said, Al, the bash is in a week. How are we going to raise money for a scholarship in a week? So he pulled out his checkbook and he wrote a check for $1,000 and said, I'd like to start it off with $1,000. And that very first year we raised $5,000 in 1 week in the name of Dan Cody. So thank you, Al Baloo. Where are you, Al? Raise your hand. James, all the way in the back, all the way over. How did you end up with the worst, literally the worst seat in the house? I want to thank Angel for being our photographer for free. You know, everything that you see in this room tonight, everything was donated. Salvatore's donated the food. And how about the Lawrence Elks giving us a brand new home, huh? Thank you, Stephanie DeSantis, and everyone at the Lawrence Elks. We were quite heartbroken when we found out that the Fireman's Relief Inn was going to get torn down. It's a place where my dad used to go, and we kind of had an emotional connection. And I didn't know what we were going to do when they informed us that we couldn't have our bash there anymore. But I got a call from Randy Carter. Hello? Got a call from Randy Carter, and he basically badgered me into talking to the Elks about making this our new home. In my head, I really wanted to go to Central Catholic because they had capacity for more people. And my thought was, if we can have more people, we can charge less for tickets, which means people who can't afford to come can afford to come. And Randy said, well, why don't you just do this? Why don't you come to the Elks Club? Why don't you talk to Kim, our function coordinator? Why don't you talk to Stephanie? And why don't you find a way to get here at the Elks? And we will help you by doing it for free so you can get free tickets to your readers and the people who can't afford it. Thank you, Randy, because we love our new home. Now, that was quite the introduction by Chris, but I want to thank all of my lawyers. I was going to come with a scroll because there's about 19 of them over the years. They're not here, but they're going to be watching the video. Peter Caruso, Bob Lewin, who helped me to stay out of jail. Attorney Gregory Sullivan, who got us a win in the New Hampshire Supreme Court. It's our second state Supreme Court win on First Amendment issues, and these guys are incredible. Chief McNamara from Methuen is here, and I want to thank you, Chief, because he takes a lot of crap in Methuen. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the politicians in Methuen don't really like me a whole lot.
I like you.
And Chief McNamara takes a lot of crap for being my friend, especially since he's the chief. You know, last year when I got arrested, Debo Brown kept calling the police station in Methuen while I was sitting in a cell, and he kept accusing the Methuen police of giving me what he called special treatment. And if you know Mac, you know why that's completely and totally absurd, because this guy walks the line as straight as can be. But I have to tell you, I had no idea that they had a VIP cell with a hot tub in it, and I'm just glad Debo Brown didn't know about that either. I also want to thank Randy Hagoff for sneaking lobster and steak into the cell for me. I don't know if you guys saw that scene in Goodfellas where they're all making dinner and it's kind of like they were in a vacation place, but thank you. I also want to thank a very good friend of mine, Diana DeZogli, who is our state auditor, who I've known since before she was before she was an elected official, and she comes here every single year, no matter how busy she is. This is a woman who's doing the work of God, who is standing up to her party, the corrupt officials on Beacon Hill, the governor, the state reps, the state senators, Elizabeth Warren, Ed Markey. She's alone on an island, but she's got 71% of the people in the state of Massachusetts behind her, and that makes her very special. Thank you, Diana. Stand up, Diana. We've also got the guy that tried to put me in jail, DA Paul Tucker. Thank you for coming, Paul. I appreciate you being here. No hard feelings at all. But I do gotta ask you guys, you know, I've got quite a reputation on, well, a lot of things, only good and bad. We got Chief McNamara, whose department arrested me. We've got the DA here who tried to prosecute me. How'd that work out for you guys? I'm just saying. And just thinking, had I been convicted, I would be in the custody of Sheriff Carpenter, who's also here tonight. Thank you, Sheriff. So now we're all in a room together. The DA, the Sheriff, the Methuen Police, the Lawrence firefighters, the Mayor's office. Who else? What? Yeah, we're missing Debo Brown. He's in the bar right now waiting for us to go to the after party. But I bring all this up, it's funny because it's over. But I bring all this up because these are all professionals who do their jobs. Paul Tucker is a guy that I endorsed and I helped get elected. Never once did I pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I've got a legal problem. And when I ran into him when it was over, he said, that didn't surprise me at all. And when I ran into Chief McNamara afterwards, a lot of people said, oh, well, he's Tom's friend. He's going to help Tom and he's going to give him special treatment. And Mac said, if anybody knew you and anybody knew me, they'd know how absurd that was. Because he's a professional who walks the line. And never once did that happen. Thank you, Mac, by the way, for just doing your job and being a good guy. The fact that they're all here and they're letting me joke about it shows what people with incredible integrity that they are. Because in this environment of politics, where people hate each other because they don't agree with each other, it's pretty friggin' incredible to have the department that arrested me, the office that prosecuted me, and the sheriff who would have accommodated me had I been convicted, all in a room with Tom Duggan to help us celebrate our 21st anniversary. So thank you all of you guys. I promise you we're taking a break in 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. For those of you who don't know what this was really all about, I promise you it's going to be very quick. I'm going to take a break. Those of you on the right side of the room. There was a Lawrence corrupt homeless coordinator who found out that I was writing a story for the newspaper because she was trying, Because she was trying to steer $200,000 of federal money to her own nonprofit. She applied to herself, approved her own application, and tried to give herself $200,000 because she had a nonprofit on the side. And when she found out that I was writing a story about this, she went and filed a stalking order, because if someone files a stalking order about you, the first box that gets checked on that form is that you're not about to post anything about them on social media. I have been sued no less than a dozen times in my life, but never, whether it was Willie Lantigua, Jim Jajuga, Kevin Thompson, all the people who have sued me unsuccessfully in my lifetime, no one had ever tried to use the criminal system to try and silence me. And here were these two criminals, Kelly and Debo, trying to do exactly that. They were trying to silence me as a journalist. They weren't in fear of their life. They wanted to stop me from writing the story. And for 90 days, they succeeded. When it was over, we went to the New Hampshire Supreme Court. Attorney Greg Sullivan argued among a three-judge panel, and we got a unanimous decision affirming all of our rights of free speech and a free press. And why am I bringing all this up? Because we have a bunch of kids in the room tonight who are getting ready to go to college. They're getting ready to embark on their life as adults. And for those of you kids who are in the room tonight, I wanted you to hear this story for one reason. I want you to understand that no matter what happens in your life,
There's only you two left.
don't ever let anybody silence you if you believe you have something to say and you want to express it. If you love Donald Trump and you're in a group of people who hate Donald Trump, say it anyway. If you hate Donald Trump and you're in a room full of people who love Donald Trump, say it anyway. Don't ever let anybody shut you up, and don't ever let anybody bully you into silence. Because we have a First Amendment in this country, at least as of this morning. I check the paper every day. I don't care if it's a college professor, I don't care if it's a police officer, I don't care if it's a district attorney, a state rep, a state senator, the governor, your local newspaper, your fellow college students, your dean of your college. If you have something that you feel is really important, that you want to say, you need to say it. And if it's something you have to say that you think is unpopular, that's when you need to say it more. Because ideas that we agree with don't need to be protected. It's the ideas that people don't agree with that need to be protected. And by the way, do it with confidence. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say what you think is right. And also, don't be afraid to say that you've been corrected and somebody thinks that you're wrong. And when you find out that you're wrong, don't be afraid to say, I was wrong. It doesn't hurt. Honest to God, it doesn't. I apologize on Facebook all the time to be wrong. And just do it respectfully. But you know what? There are going to be times when you might not need to do it respectfully. When you might need to do it disrespectfully. And you have a First Amendment right to do that too. So no matter what happens to you kids in your college career, no matter what your political views are, even if they're 100% different than mine, no matter what it is that's going on in your life, if you feel that you have something that you need to say, you need to say it. And if you've got pressure not to say it, that's all the more reason to say it. Thank you very much. All right, where's my friend Mike Gorman? Is Mike Gorman still in the house? Come on up, Mike. Can I also have Andy Clegg?
Great time.
Intern Go, can we have the first 3 awards that say Scott Clegg on them? Get Mike Gorman up on the stage. How you guys doing at TMF? You guys having fun?
Yeah!
And how about our Forever Young Girls? Are our Forever Young Girls still here? Thank you for being here. We love you. And I know this is your first bash. I hope you're going to come back every year. Okay. So, can we have MJ come up and help us with this? Where's MJ? Come on up and help us with this, because you remember TMF. How about Nancy Gorman? Can you come on up?
I'm like, I'm sure you remember me.
Lindsay, why don't you come up too? Where's Lindsay? Nancy? Where's the third one? Where's the third one? Do we have Wally and Dan from Harrow's Prize? They're kind of like our honorary TMF members, and they're in the room.
Our state auditor can assist here. Diana, can you please confirm there are 3 awards?
Diana, come on up. We need you. Where's Wally and Dan? Wally and Dan. Did somebody keep Wally Arsenault? Dan Arsenault. Going once. Did they really leave? Wow. Wally and Dan Arsenault. All right, well, I guess they're not here. We had a surprise for them. We had tasked somebody to keep them in the room. I guess that person fell asleep. So last night, while we were here setting up, I'm gonna get your attention. I swear to God, 30 more seconds, we're gonna take a break. Last night while we were here, we were setting up, the stage was very shaky. And MJ stayed last night and reinforced the entire stage so we could get people up here to do these awards. He was here for 3.5 hours with his saw, went down to the lumber yard, got more lumber. He did, and he was here until 10:30 last night because I stayed with him. 11:30, I'm sorry, MJ. And when we were leaving, I tricked him and I said, can I get your attention? I swear to God, 30 more seconds, we'll take a break, you can talk all you want.
Guys, listen up.
Thank you. So we were here last night, and as we were leaving, I said, MJ, not for anything. I swear to God, as soon as I start talking again, you just guys go back to what you were doing. So we were here last night until 11:30. MJ was fixing the stage. This is his first year as a Bash Committee member. And I said to him as we were leaving, not for anything, but you did so much work, we should be giving you an award. Because he didn't know that he's actually getting one tonight.
I want to say a few words on this individual. I'm going to bring it back to a year ago. In 2024, I'm not sure if anyone knows this in the crowd, but this individual saved a homeless person's life that attends the TMF dinners. While at Cube Smart Storage on South Canal Street, he heard a voice from the canal screaming, "Help me." He walked closer to the canal and noticed someone was actually stuck in the canal. Due to the dark, he could not visibly see this individual, but continued to communicate with this person while calling 911 and waiting till they arrived. While the police and firefighters showed up, a homeless individual named Peter, who lives in a tent across the street, came to check out the scene and recognized the individual's voice as Carlos, who lives on the street. Without this TMF member quick response, Carlos could have easily frozen to death that evening. This individual's passion and energy sticks out to me. He's a role model to many of the younger TMF members that are in high school. And just a few weeks ago, which was special for me to witness, a woman in recovery named Christy lost her daughter to an overdose. She called me personally on the phone that evening and asked if this individual would be a pallbearer, which is a complete honor, and then went into detail expressing she could really use his support during this difficult time because I know he really believes in me and my sobriety. That speaks volumes right there about a person who has made an impact on someone's life. At this time, I would like to announce our award winner, MJ.
Why'd you get Michael with the photos? Now we called Andy Clegg up here because this award is called the Scott Clegg Public Service Award, or the Goodwill Ambassador Award. Scott was a friend of mine. His wife Annie is here. He passed away. He used to come to this bash every single year. He's in the back of your book on our memoriam page. And Annie, by the way, comes every year. We never ask anything from her. And 3 years ago she called and said, you know, Tom, you do all this great work for the scholarships. I have a friend named R.E.T. DeMoulas, and I was talking to him the other day, and he agreed to donate $2,000 every year for your Lawrence High School Junior ROTC scholarship. Thank you for that, Annie. It's a great tribute to Scott. He is looking down on both of us, for sure. Now, we're going to take a break in 3 seconds. But where is our Enterprise Bank girls? Women. No, women. Girls, come on now. And where is Lion Dave and our District Governor, Mark Anderson? Is he here? Alexander, I'm sorry. Mark Alexander. Boy, I cannot wait to take a break. I cannot breathe. I don't want to sound like George Floyd, but wow, it's a hot room. Of course it's hot. Look at intern girl. Where's Jessica? Jessica, why don't you come over and explain what you're doing, what you guys are going to do?
Real quick, on behalf of Lions International, 1.4 million members across the world, 200 countries, 6,000 members here in Massachusetts, do over 1 million hours of humanitarian service. We are blessed and fortunate to have the movement family, Michael Gorman here tonight. We paired up with Michael a couple of years ago, and we found a friend and someone who believed in their community. We can't thank them enough for that. Also, as governor, I'm allowed to give an award to someone under the age of 18 for what they do for their community. And at one of the TMF events, we got to meet a young gentleman by the name of Cameron. Is Cameron still here? Cameron.
Cameron, you want to hold the microphone? You're going to carry this, you're going to walk right up.
Cameron, on behalf of Lions International, come on up. We're allowed to give this award to one person in the state of Massachusetts. We have selected you. Thank you so much for what you do. Go on, do it. Thank you. Do you have something?
Thank you.
Yeah, Cameron.
We have the privilege and honor of awarding people for the service and what they do for their communities. This is normally held on behalf of a Lions member, but we're also allowed to give the largest and the highest honor of LCIF in the world to non-members. And tonight, we want to honor the movement family founder, Michael Gorman.
Real nice. It's for me.
This has been the longest 30 seconds of your lives. We're not done yet. Oh, sorry. Another gentleman who is a Lion, who has done some incredible things for their community, runs items like this bash, does a lot. Also is recognized by Lions International. This gentleman is a Lion, but we also would like to honor him tonight with the highest award of Lions International Foundation, Tom Duggan.
I need another wall.
30 seconds, I promise. Chris and I represent Enterprise Bank. We met Tom last year. He moved over to our bank. We are blessed to have been involved with the Movement family and served at their dinners. And we are here to, Chris represents the Methuen branch, I represent the Lawrence branch. And we'd like to present the Movement family with a check for $2,500 from the bank to support their efforts. Thank you.
So between Enterprise Bank and the Lions, they're donating $5,900 to TMF tonight. And I know some of you are going to sneak out and leave during the break. So Diana Desaglio, our state auditor, our highest state official that's ever been in our bash, is here. She just wants to say one word before we take our quick break.
And I will be back.
I just wanted to come tonight just to say thank you so much to every single person here in this room who shows up year after year after year to be so giving and so generous to the awardees, to contribute to the scholarship program. Look, I've known Tom for a long time, okay? We don't always agree politically.
We don't ever agree politically.
But here's what I'll say. Tom is someone, I'm not singing tonight, Jill, you can't make me. Tom is someone who can bring together a very different group of people. People who have political differences, people on the far left, people on the far right, and everybody in between for a common good in this community. That's why I come here every year, because this is about community. This is about contributing to real people, regardless of their party affiliation, regardless of their bank balance, their background, their zip code. This is about making sure that we are investing in future generations. And Tom is someone who can bring together all of these people here in this room tonight, and the way that he does it is through his love for the community. His love for the community. This is about demonstrating love in our community. And I have to say, as your state auditor, you know, a lot of people don't know about my upbringing here in Lawrence, in Methuen, where I was born, where I was raised. You know, I still live right down the street, about a mile from where I was born, at Holy Family Hospital. I used to live on Tower Hill growing up. And years ago, friends, I ended up getting elected to the House of Representatives, which was the honor and privilege of my life. But that was preceded by something a lot of people don't know about. I went through a very, very, very challenging time in my life, personally, where I was actually fired from our House of Representatives after being harassed in our own state house. They tried to silence me about what happened. They tried to get rid of me and keep me quiet about what I had seen, witnessed, or experienced with among some of the most powerful politicians in Massachusetts. And yes, eventually I ended up running and getting elected, serving in the House of Representatives as the youngest woman serving at that time. But that was only, and thank you, that was only after Tom Duggan had helped me out for a few months after I got fired, inappropriately so, by giving me some cleaning jobs and by letting me write for his newspaper for a couple of extra bucks when I was down and out. And you know what he didn't do during that time period? When I really had nowhere else to go and nobody wanted to hire me on Beacon Hill. He didn't ask me, before I hire you, I need to know, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? He didn't ask that. He didn't say, are you liberal or are you conservative? Because if you disagree with me politically, I am not going to demonstrate kindness to you. I'm not going to have compassion on your situation, and I'm not going to hire you. He didn't say that to me. And because of the kindness and generosity of people like Tom, that I have had the honor and privilege of living amongst in our wonderful community here in the Merrimack Valley, the place that I call home, people that I call family. I've had opportunities in my life that a girl like me, a woman like me from Methuen, would never have had it not been for that kindness, for that compassion, and for that love. Extending a helping hand during a challenging time. And you know what? He was doing that 13, 14 years ago when I first met him. And he's still doing that today at this bash with his generosity in giving these awards out to the most deserving people I could possibly think of in our community, and giving these very generous scholarships to people who are in financial need, who are trying to make something out of themselves, but who need a helping hand. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart that I am so unbelievably, incredibly thankful, again, to all of you for showing up and making those contributions and for supporting this evening to make sure that we can invest into the kids in our community, into the lives of those who need support that we might not know about, but Tom is finding, and then we can say thank you to all of those who are dedicating their lives to service amongst us, like Tom is bringing us together to do tonight. And I have a very small token of my appreciation. Tom, I appreciate you more than this can demonstrate. But this is an official citation from the State Auditor's Office, and it says, be it hereby known that the Valley Patriot is awarded from the Office of State Auditor in celebration of your 21st anniversary. Thank you for all that you do to inform residents and support students and celebrate our community in the Merrimack Valley. We love you, we appreciate you, keep up the great work, and thank you for your service. Thanks, everybody, and now it's break time.
Now, don't sneak out. I swear we have 3 more things left, and we're all going to go to the party and go to the bar. I'm off the wagon for the week, so we're gonna first drinks on me. If everybody can find their seats, we're going to start back up here. And actually, we're going to go a little bit out of order here, if we can, just for a second. We're going to give one award that wasn't able to be given earlier. It will be quick and we'll get back on with the show. Tom. All right, break's over, people. Don't make me come over there. Can we get everybody's attention, please? Wow, it actually worked. I didn't think that was going to work. Nancy, can you come up with us, please? Nancy Gorman? Nancy Gorman. So he wasn't here earlier, and I'm glad we saved it. We have 2 scholarships, and then 1 award after this, and then we can go enjoy the night. Andy, are you still here? Is Tom Fleck still here? Come on up, please. And a shout out to our friend Keith Wadiga, who almost died of COVID, and he's still recovering, but he's here, and I appreciate you. Thank you. A round of applause for Keith. Andy and Tom, come up. Daily Dose Cafe. Thank you. He wasn't here earlier. So there's a guy who moved to the United States from Pakistan. Just want to make sure I get that right. That's a horrible thing to get wrong. He came to this country, first he moved to Canada, then he came to this country and decided he wanted to help people. So he bought a number of AFC urgent cares and franchised that. And what he could have done, for those of you over here, hello? What he could have done is bought a bunch of franchises and sat home and collected checks and gone to the Bahamas and enjoyed himself. Instead, he became part of the community. Not only did he become part of the community, he became a part of the Valley Patriot family. And every year, AFC Urgent Care gives us money for our scholarships. This year, they give us $4,000 for our scholarships. And it's not just because they gave us money for our scholarship kids, but as the owner of AFC Urgent Care, started a program to help immigrants become American citizens. And so they give immigration physicals to those who want to become American citizens. So at a time when other people are sneaking into the country and coming here illegally, Zaka from AFC Urgent Care is offering physicals for people who want to do it the right way. And for both of those reasons, we have a Scott Clegg Public Service Goodwill Ambassador Award for Zaka Shafiq. Come on up, Zaka. Why don't we have our state auditor come up and help him present this? That's a great picture to have Diana give him in.
Okay, well, they're taking pictures. If we can have Al Ballou, Scott Wood, Lenny Mira, Superintendent, the Delano family, DJ Beauregard, Pavel Payano, again, no offense, Pavel, and Mike Gagliardi. Well, if you can come up here, we'll be ready to go on next here. No problem. Okay. Here we go. Welcome up to the stage here. On the other side of the top. Is the superintendent here with you? Okay, here we go. Okay, Maureen Lynch, by the way, is the superintendent, so sorry I did not know that. I'm not going to say I didn't write it, but yeah, I didn't write it. So now I'm going to introduce Scott Wood. We want to thank Whittier school committee man, and actually my personal friend, Scott Wood, who researched and chose our Whittier Tech scholarship recipient tonight. And by the way, she's announced that she's going to my alma mater, Salve Regina University. So I'm very happy with Scott's choice. Fellow future Seahawk there. So Scott, Tom wants me to tell you. So I didn't say I didn't write it because Tom's telling me. Tom wants me to tell you, don't let the haters get you down. And by the way, he found a text message you sent back in 1954 using the L word. That's right, liberal. So we aren't sure you should even be here because that gets you canceled these days. But we're all here, we stand together with you, and now I'm going to ask you to introduce our scholarship recipient.
Thank you, Bob. You are a close friend, at least till tonight. Jesus, don't mention any text messages in front of the district attorney. He's in the room. Jesus Christ. Got enough problems. Anyway, this scholarship was started 7 years ago by Al Ballou, a Whittier Tech alum.
What's up, Lou? Come on up, Al.
We love you, Al. Al supported us every year. Not only did he create this scholarship, but he also created the now famous Dan Cody Memorial Scholarship, which we'll get to later in the program. Let's have a round of applause for Al Van Loo. We also want to thank again Zaka of AFC Urgent Care, Mike Gagliardi, who donated $5,000 this year, former state representative Lenny Mira, and Walmart for their $2,000 donation. Our scholarship winner is Natalie Delano. Natalie Delano lives in Haverhill and is specializing in the health assisting program at Whittier with plans of going into nursing school this fall. She is committed to Salve Regina University in Newport, Rhode Island. Where Doug graduated from. She has received high honors for all 4 years in her involvement with the National Technical Honor Society. She has a GPA of 3.89 and a rank of 40th out of 307 classmates. She was also part of the early college program at Northern Essex Community College since her junior year. She has even taken extra winter intersession classes and will be adding on an extra public health course to her schedule this spring. She is currently a part of the co-op program at Whittier, working as a certified nursing assistant at the Elizabeth Halsey House in Amesbury. She served as the freshman and sophomore class president, as a health assistant committee student representative, and is serving as a 2-year state officer of the Skills USA, Massachusetts. Natalie also has 179 hours of community service, achieved the silver standard of the Presidential Volunteer and Service Award, 91 hours of community service volunteering at the Haverhill Public Library, Methuen Village, Tough Warrior Princess, Skills USA Mass, and the Methuen Festivals of Trees. What's up? For all these reasons and so much more, this year's Whittier Tech Scholarship recipient, Natalie Delano, we present you with this check from the Valley Patriot in the amount of $10,570.
Told there's still some food at the back of the room if you want to take it home. All right, so our next scholarship is the Lawrence High School scholarship. So Eric, can you come down here? Eric is the president of the Lawrence High School Alumni Association. If you're a Lawrence High grad and you're in the room and you don't get our annual newsletter, we're mailing it next month. You can give Eric your address and we'll make sure to get one to you. As we've talked about tonight, this scholarship is special to me because it's the one that started the scholarships here, which is just blown up and gone crazy. If you remember how we started the night, I said, how do you know if you have impact in your community? You know that because you're here. Well, there's a part 2 to that. Not only do you have impact in your community, but you're still here. So, hats off to you. Thank you for staying. We have a couple of more scholarships, and then we always wrap up the night with something very special to Tom, which is the award named after Tommy's father. Eric, you want to take the mic?
I'd like to say a little bit about the Alumni Association first. So Lawrence High School Alumni Association was started back in 1929, and their purpose at that point was to provide a happy commencement. They ran the commencement for Lawrence High School. Over the years, it evolved into an alumni association that was keeping track of students so that reunions could be held. And then in the 1950s, one of the graduates donated some money and wanted to start a scholarship fund. And it started out with a $5,000 donation in the 1950s to establish the fund, and that has grown to over $1 million. And last year we awarded approximately $155,000 on Alumni Night, which this year will be on May 22nd. I don't have the final figures yet, but I believe we will surpass that $155,000 amount this year. And this scholarship will also be announced that night for the students, so that Johnny can get some recognition in front of his peers. Speaking of Johanny Ferran, the Valley Patriot 21st Anniversary Bash Committee is pleased to announce that this year's recipient of the John Radka Eugene Smith JROTC Scholarship is Johanny Ferran. Johanny is a... Sorry, I didn't see the parentheses, applause parentheses. Johnny is a senior at Lawrence High School and is the battalion commander for the Lawrence High School Army JROTC. His family came to the U.S. from the Dominican Republic. Johnny was born and grew up in Lawrence with a passion for computer science and to create applications to make everyday tasks easier. He founded 2 robotic teams through JROTC and the Youth Development Organization. And he spends his summers attending classes at Phillips Academy in Andover to get ahead of his regular court classes, and has maintained a 3.0 grade point average. Johanny says he wants to join the ROTC program in college and graduate as a second lieutenant for the United States Army. In his free time, he likes to knit, explore different places in Lawrence, and practice marching movements with his drill cadets. Johanny has been accepted at Merrimack College, my alma mater, UMass, Boston, the Virginia Military Institute. He is still waiting to hear back from a couple of other schools and hasn't picked a school to attend yet. At this point, I am happy to announce that we are awarding him, I don't know the final amount yet. Yeah, that's $11,406.
Stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
An all-time record scholarship right there, people. All-time record. Once again, let's hear it for Johanny Ferran.
There's a man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you. And it's been
Okay, can we have Al Ballou, Nicole Cameron, Braylon and Parrots, Nick and Greg Morris, the Cody family, Diana DiZoglio, Joel Diesler. You all come up, please. So if you didn't hear it over talking behind me, our scholarship total for tonight is $66,391. That's amazing. How much was it last year? Last year was $58,100.
We're going to test the capacity of the stage. Everybody up on the stage. I'm coming. We built it twice.
Check this over.
Now you know why we saved them for the end.
I told him, you didn't tell me the whole community was going to get up on the stage.
And this is only 1/3 of the Cody family.
Alright. The scholarship was started 7 years ago by Al Ballou in memory of Dan Cody Jr., who was killed in a tragic accident on Route 495 just a week before the annual bash. What started off as a $500 scholarship has become a record-breaking scholarship. And it may very well be a stage-breaking scholarship too. Right now, we'd like to give Dan's sister, Nicole Cameron, a minute to talk about her brother Dan and what this scholarship has been to her family. Where's Nicole?
I wasn't sure this was going to happen, so here we go again. It's nothing like selling yourself on the internet. And I am proud to do it. I've come back off of the hiatus from a Facebook hack to do it the last 2 years. We just want to honor him and do what Al put us to the challenge to do, if you will, and give away money to kids that deserve it. And this one's every year is special, and it gets specialer and specialer every year. But I'm glad, I'm so thankful to every single donor. You guys are amazing. Like, I just can't even tell you. Callahan, AC and Heating, Cody's Towing are really big sponsors. Thank you very much. And Braylon, go get it, girl.
This year's Dan Cody Scholarship winner is Braylon McGuire. She attended the Thompson School where she made her first academic strides as the only student to complete the 40-book challenge for the 5th graders and was the school champion for the National Geographic Geography Bee. I don't think Tom has finished 40 books to this day. I mean, if you don't count the picture books. She has a weighted GPA of 4.41. Has received nothing but A's as final grades. She is in mostly AP and honors classes and a member of the school's chapter of the National Honor Society, is president of the French Honor Society, sang in the choir for all 4 years of high school, and is also the co-lead of the American Cancer Society on-campus club, which has raised over $10,000 for cancer research. She plans to major in computer science and has already been accepted to, wait for it, 10 different schools. So, The Valley Patriot family would like to start you on your college career with this check in the amount, let's have, is it Dana? Read it.
What's the amount of the check? 13,198.
13,198.
$13,180.
Congratulations to Braylon McGuire. And congratulations to MJ for reinforcing the stage to the degree that it just held about 50 people. Okay, Tom. Tom, you're back up. Tom. Tom, you're back up.
Oh my God. I have women to hug. Hold on. It never does. This is going to be our last award, and then the after party's in the bar. And if you make it to the end of the after party, the after party is in the DoubleTree up the street.
We have Chief McNamara and Officer Nicolosi come up, please. Chief McNamara, or as Tom knows him, is the warden of Cell Block 3. And is that Kilo? Is that not a great name for a drug-sniffing dog?
Kilo! I think the dog recognized me.
Tom, the dog's confused with the amount of pills you have to take.
Wasn't he in the next cell when I was in cell block 3?
He was waiting for the hot tub, Tom.
You know it's fucking dark outside, right?
So before we start, I just want to let you guys know. This is probably the most important thing that I do in my life. And if you can't be quiet for that, then I don't know what I can do. This is probably the most important thing I do in my life. And when I was laying... Hello?
Shut up! Yeah, shut up!
So when I was laying in the hospital, one of the things that I thought was that I would probably never do a bash again. And I also first thought I'll never be able to honor my dad again. So this is the second bash since that's happened, and I feel very honored. Because we really started this bash to celebrate the anniversary of the Valley Patriot, but also the very first Valley Patriot in 2004 that came off the presses on March 7th, my father's birthday. We didn't time it that way, it just happened that way. So when we had our first anniversary bash, it happened to fall on my dad's birthday, and I thought, why don't we just merge the two efforts and use the bash in a way to honor my dad. Now for those of you who don't know, in 1990, my father, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, was on his way to court. and a car almost hit him, and at the next light, my father pulled over, got out of the car, identified himself as a police officer, and asked for the license and registration of the guy that almost hit him. Instead of getting his license and registration, he got out of the car with a baseball bat and bashed my father's head in a dozen times with a metal bat. When he was caught at Lawrence General Hospital dropping off his girlfriend, he had my father's blood all over him, and he confessed. That was on March 13th of 1990. On October 12th of 1990, a jury found him not guilty on a technicality because of faulty jury instructions from a judge. And on that day, I thought that my father died for nothing. Because this guy who murdered my dad was gonna walk free, and he did, and brag about what he did, and he did. And I was very, very, very upset, as was my entire family. His sister, my mom, is here tonight. We call her my mom because she adopted me with Uncle Frankie. And so when we started this bash, we decided we were going to do something to honor my dad. We started off, before we even did scholarships, before we did anything, we decided we were going to do an Officer Tom Duggan Hero Police Officer Award. And one of the things that I really wanted to do, my father took the sergeant's exam no less than 6 times. And he scored in the top 3 every single time. And he got passed over every single time because he didn't play politics. And when the sergeants and the lieutenants, no, not Uncle Frankie, but the other lieutenants and the captains would say to my dad, well, we got a guy coming in on a probationary, as a police officer, you get 1-year probationary period. We don't want this guy to make it through. We're gonna put him with you, and every time he screws up, we want you to write him up for us. My father would say, screw you. If I think I can work with this guy and I can teach him, I'm going to. And so because my father didn't play politics, because he just wanted to go out and do his job, he was very underappreciated. So we decided that every year when we give this award out, we wanted to give it to somebody who was very underappreciated. Not necessarily someone that did something tremendously heroic, not somebody that, you know, that was getting a million awards, but someone that went out and did their job every day, struggled every day to do the right thing, and was overlooked and not thought of when the Exchange Club, the Rotary Club, and all the other awards come along in the community. That first year we gave out an award to a Methuen police officer. Mike O'Connell was our first award winner from Methuen. And here we are at the 21st Anniversary Bash. We have another Methuen officer. And let me tell you how honored I am to have the District Attorney, Paul Tucker, with us today to say a few words about our honoree, and the police chief to also say a few words. Because when you hear what they're going to read to you about this officer, you're going to go home tonight thinking about this on the way home, I promise you. So let me give the microphone over to Essex County District Attorney Paul Tucker.
Thank you, everybody. Good evening. Tom, thank you. I'm honored to be a small part of giving this award. I was a police officer for 34 years prior to becoming district attorney. So I have great reverence and great respect for those police officers who have come before us, particularly those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. On March 13th, 1990, some 35 years ago, Officer Tom Duggan made the ultimate sacrifice, gave his life in protection of the good people of Lawrence. His name is forever etched on the police memorial wall with thousands of other honorees who also gave the ultimate sacrifice. And when you think about the courage of police officers, what it takes to raise your right hand, to take that oath, to put the badge on, to go out to work on midnights, on holidays, sometimes at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. A lot of times we throw the word hero around a lot. Sports figures, political figures, people in public life. But to me, the true heroes are those in public service. Our police officers, firefighters, and EMS, those are the true heroes. When you take a look at our honoree's bio, Officer Nicolosi, you take a look at what she has done in her career, and I'm sure it wasn't easy. the words that come to mind for me is strength, resilience, character, and courage. And if I may just tell one quick story, and I'm sure that she will also accept this with humility. Let me just tell you one quick story, if I may. I know it's late. The Congressional Medal of Honor is the highest military honor in our country. And one of the recipients of that is a guy named Jack Jacobs. He served in the Vietnam War. And when Jack Jacobs did something incredible in the middle of the battle, he described himself as just an ordinary soldier doing what other soldiers would have done. And when he accepted the award, he told the president that he accepted it on behalf of others who had done similar things as him. But because nobody saw them, wrote them down, could corroborate it, he accepted on behalf because he said only those others' heroic service was known to themselves and to God. So I know that when our honoree accepts this tonight, she will also do it with the great men and women and the great leadership of Chief McNamara. I appreciate being here tonight.
First, let me say that it's really an honor to share the stage with District Attorney Tucker. For those of you who don't know, District Attorney Tucker is just an absolute huge support for me as the police chief in Methuen. I know he's someone I can always rely on for good advice and counsel, and I know that all the chiefs in the Essex County certainly feel the same way. Thanks for all you do, District Attorney. I don't want to get too close to Kilo here. I'm worried that Kilo's last official act is going to be to bite me in the ankle. I want to say it's an honor to stand before you tonight and present this award. It's one that holds deep significance for our law enforcement community. For those of you who may not know my history, before I had the honor of becoming the Methuen police chief, I served as a Lawrence police officer for 25 years. That was truly some of the best days of my life. And while I never had the privilege of working with your dad, Tom, I can tell you I've worked alongside many that did know your dad. And I can tell you, everyone I talked to who knew your father held him in high regard. They say he was a cop's cop, someone that you prayed was the officer standing next to you when you faced the worst of it. He was something special to everyone who knew him. You know, it's often said that first responders run towards danger when others run away. Tom Duggan Sr. embodied that principle, and tragically he gave his life in defense of it. We as police officers accept the risks that come with this job, but I don't think we always fully grasp the weight of those risks for our families. Tom Duggan Sr. laid down his life in service to his community. For that, his family paid the ultimate price. His son, you, Tom Duggan Jr., you've carried on his legacy, not just through the continued support of law enforcement, but through the creation of this award, which recognizes those who go above and beyond in service to others. Tonight, I have the privilege of presenting the Tom Duggan Senior Law Enforcement Award to someone who exemplifies dedication, resilience, and service, and that's Officer Christine Nicolosi. Nicolosi's career is a true testament to perseverance. She has faced challenges that would have ended many careers, but time and time again, she has fought to return to the job she loves. In 1995, while off duty, she was struck by a drunk driver, a devastating incident that could have permanently ended her time in law enforcement. But through sheer determination, she recovered and she returned to duty. Then, just 5 years later, in 2001, lightning struck again. While responding to assist another police officer, she was involved in yet another serious motor vehicle accident, forcing her this time into medical retirement. But that wasn't the end of her story. She refused to let circumstances define her career, and she fought tirelessly for 4 years to regain her place on the force. In 2005, she achieved what many thought was impossible. She returned to full duty, proving her unwavering commitment to serving her community. Beyond her personal strength, Officer Nicolosi has given so much to her department. She has served as a mentor, a leader on our honor guard, a dedicated crisis team member, and of course, a K-9 officer. Those who have worked with her have known the dedication and heart she brings to the job every single day. And tonight, I want to acknowledge someone very special who's here tonight, who just stepped off stage, of course, her K-9 partner, Kilo. K-9 Kilo has stood faithfully by Officer Nicolosi's side, serving our community with courage and loyalty. Though he's now retired after tragically being recently diagnosed with cancer, his presence here tonight is a powerful reminder of the bond between an officer and their partner, and the unwavering commitment that defines Officer Nicolosi's service. Her story is one of resilience, it's one of courage, and it's one of an unbreakable dedication to law enforcement. That is why she is so deserving of this recognition tonight. Officer Nicolosi, on behalf of the Methuen Police Department and the law enforcement community, thank you for your service, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment. Please join me in congratulating this year's Tom Duggan Senior Law Enforcement Award.
Massachusetts State Auditor Diane D. Bravio had requested that I present you this official citation to Officer Christine Nicolosi in recognition of receiving the Valley Patriots Officer Tom Duggan Senior Hero Police Officer Award for your dedicated service to the city of Missouri. Thank you for all that you do to keep our community safe. Thank you.
Okay, Officer Nicolosi, we also have a certificate here from Massachusetts House of Representatives, from Speaker of the House, Ronald Mariano, and State Representative Estela Reyes.
Congratulations, Officer Nicolosi and Kilo. Now we're gonna go ahead. Hold on, I'm being told no. One more thing.
If you're still here, I also have more certifications from the State House for Thomas Curtis from earlier in the evening, some of our scholarship winners, Abigail Mendez, Jeremy Farron, and Natalie Delano. I'd like to take a minute and just thank everyone for staying. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for donating. Thank you for taking your time, which is probably the most precious thing we all have, and giving it here. For those of you who are first timers, we're talking about at the beginning of the evening. You're no longer a first timer. We'd love to see you back next year.
We have the raffles.
We're now going to pull the remaining raffles because in past years I've learned if you do not give the raffles away, it is not good.
Okay. We're gonna pick the rest of the raffles now. Hold on 1 second. She's grabbing the paperwork so we know who's winning. Okay. A gift card to Salvatore's. If you like the food tonight, you can go back and enjoy it again. Here we go. Number 47. Ticket number 47. Tammy Geyer. Is Tammy here? Number 13, the big one. She's mixing it up and digging deep. Everybody always wants to be the last one to put their ticket in. Ticket number 66. Oh, wait a second, it's 99. Just kidding, just kidding. It's 66. Jane Pesci. Shaking Seafood gift card. Number 57. Joe Murphy. Okay. What is this? Harrow's gift card. $50 to Harrow's. Number 56. John Abramson. John Abramson. $56, you're John Abramson? 56, right here. $50 gift card to the Clada. Number 15. Karen Eldridge. Is Karen here? Karen Eldridge. Clada, $50. She may not get it. $50 to Tomo. Number 57. Joe Murphy still not here. Another gift card to Shaking Seafood. 66 again. Jana Pesci again. Is she still here? $50 to 110 Grill. And by the way, obviously all of these people have donated their gift cards, so please patronize them, even if you don't win. 44, Stephanie DeSantis. Academy Lanes. Number 7, Paula Drellick. Paula Drellick. Is your name Paula? TGI Fridays. Go before they go out of business. Did I say that out loud? What is this? TGI Fridays? Number 69 to TGI Fridays, that is Evan Cody. We barely can tell the Codys are in the house, and it's so quiet. $50 to Tomo. Are you Evan? Oh, Angie just picking up both TGI Fridays and Tomo. The Clatta. $50 to the Clatta. Number 65. Ernesto Bencosme. Academy Lanes again. Number 31. Rich Gilmet. Hey, what's your name? Are you trying to win a specific thing, Madison? Which one? Madison's looking for, oh, that one. There you go, 22. You want the Squishables, right? Oh, what is that they're called? Squishmallows? Hold on, 31. Hold on, 31? Hold on, 31. There you go. Okay, the scratch tickets are going to Tara Kirch. Tara Kirch here. We didn't say that, we just thought it. Number 21, basket number 21. It's got all sorts of creams and gels and probably a couple candles in there. Lucy Fallon. Lucy Fallon here. I'm pretty sure the Codys don't even know her, and they're just screaming for everybody at this point.
Enjoy them.
All right, who are you? Lucy Fallon. Basket number 15. It's all sorts of stuff. Swiss Miss Peppermint. Number 56. John Abramson again. Where's John? He's here, he's coming. Oh, what's up with the lights? Okay. We're getting closer and closer to those squishmallows over here. Basket up. Basket 18. Basket 18 is going to number 32. Sean Cologne. Who are you? You won the remote control car or some sort of Monopoly and Hungry Turtles? You're going to have a fun night. There you go. Okay, this is going. Tammy Geyer again. Is Tammy Geyer here? There's a lot of these. The 50-50 will be drawn right after this. Basket number 20. A whole lot of sugar, a whole lot of peeps. Paula Drellick again. Madison, come here. I'm going to have you pick the winner of the Squishmallows. Because if you pick someone else, I don't want you mad at me. So don't look, reach in there and pick one ticket. Now give it to her. What number is it? 34. She heard you wrong. Kim Provençal. Kim Provençal. Hold on, she's coming. All right. Kim, over here, Kim. Here, come here, hold on. Kim, I want to introduce you to Madison. So Madison, hold your ticket. You win this. Eric Webster. Hey, right behind us. This one here. Eric Webster. There you go. How awesome. How awesome. There were so many feel-good moments tonight, and Kim just gave up her Squishmallows to Madison, who's been staring at them for the past 6 hours. Lucy Fallon. Is Lucy Fallon in the house? Is she? Hold on, is that Lucy? Are you Lucy? You're Lucy? I think it was that heavy one. Looking for an excuse for you to walk into her car.
I don't talk to them.
Box number 29, the knockoff comfy, also known as a cozy. 45. Mendez again. We got another Mendez winner. They're here, so we're gonna give this to them. there, guys. Laura Anderson. Laura Anderson. Basket number 48. It's good for baby boy. Number 8. What is it? Lucy Fallon again. Hey, this one, Lucy, you can hold yourself. It's light.
So that way we didn't throw it. All of that
Danny Geyer. Tammy Geyer. Tammy Geyer, 47. Danny Geyer again. Box number 26. It's all about the spring, squishy broom or whatever box. Number 31. Rich Gilmet. Okay, I was just being told the spinny mop thing is wonderful. I'm gonna get one for my wife for her birthday. The mystery box number 49. Sherry Ventrilo. I don't know. All right, Sherry, you're gonna have to open this box so we know what the heck it is. You want it? I have no idea. Marcus Devers. Gone. Yeah, burn on them. Dan Cotnier. You left. Number 43, box number 43. Number 43, the winner is number 43 as well. Chris, what are the odds? George, Chris George, some Botox is coming to you soon. I'm wondering why Chris George put his ticket in the Botox bin, but whatever. Are you Chris? Hold on, are you Chris? Botox. Hold on. You're good. Well, maybe. I mean, only 10 units, so congratulations. Rich Gilmet again. I don't know. The good news is And the 50-50 is coming up next. Sarah Mackin for the Keurig. Sarah Mackin. She's not here. And now we have the popcorn cart. Why do I think the Cody's just sending random people to pick up gifts down? Congratulations, Sarah. Right? Exactly. Somebody wants the big heavy thing and you say your name is the winner, you won. One ticket. No number! Hey, if you forgot to put a number on the back of your ticket, you would have won twice. But you didn't follow directions. This is a scholarship dinner. Eddie Johnson. Where's Eddie? Oh, where's Eddie? Way in the back. Okay, now the 50-50 raffle. Hold on one second, we're gonna walk on over to the 50-50 raffle. The total pot for the 50-50 raffle, so you win half of this amount, was $1,745. So the winner gets $873. You're getting the extra 50 cents out of the charity, guys. Okay, so, where's the basket? Oh, over here, hold on, whoa, whoa, whoa. Tommy's gotta do it, Tommy's picking it. Tommy. All right, what do we have here? This is the 50-50 raffle. 2, 3, 8, 1.